Hello everyone, welcome to the Nerdemic show.
Yes.
Anyone going to add to it?
I'm going to add to that. Or just, Rick is, as always, round the back, sorting out things last minute.
Rick loves it round the back.
Rick is always round the back.
You're always on the other side of the studio. Well, arguing at the beginning here already. Well, welcome to the Nerdemic show here on LRB Radio 1. My name is Callum John.
My name is Kieran Donnelly.
And I'm Rick. Hi guys, I'm the guy round the back.
I did put the other mics on.
Yeah,
so you good while you're round the back.
1 to 6 is on now.
It's fine, I'm back, I'm ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
Enthusiastic. Let's do this, let's nerd one off to the point where it becomes a pandemic.
Oh,
See what I mean?
Is it pandemic or epidemic?
Epidemic is
actually
pandemic is worldwide.
Okay.
And I'd say nerdism is a pandemic.
Yeah.
I've seen nerds from Thailand, Sweden, Eskimo nerds. They're rare, but there are them. It's difficult to get a TV reception in your igloo, but...
Building snowman models of Captain America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It can be done.
So for ages, I think that when we actually came up with the name, I think it was Birdemic.
Yeah, that's where it came from. But
Surely pandemic.
surely if you were a nerd and you were enthusiastic about building snow characters, wouldn't Mr. Freeze be your first port of call?
Well, not necessarily, because I mean, if you think about it, Mr. Freeze is everything that's bad with snow, and Eskimos must like it.
Mr. Freeze is everything that's bad. That's using
it'd be
that
more like
snow
Iceman.
to rob banks.
Yeah, it'd be more like Iceman from X-Men.
Yeah, fair enough.
There are very few good frost-related characters.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones, aren't there?
Yeah.
Captain Cold, Mr. Freeze, Killer Frost. Some others.
Yeah,
I can't think of right now.
Others.
Well, I'm sure I'll think of... Yeah, but the same goes for fire. There's a lot more bad fire people than there are good fire people, right? I know there's the Human Torch.
Yeah.
But you've got Pyro. You've got some other bad fire people. The guy with a heat gun in Flash. Can't remember his name.
You can't remember.
I'm gonna get the other guy was called Captain Cold, so I'm gonna go with Lieutenant Hot.
Lieutenant Hot.
Yeah.
Nice.
That could well be his name.
So, today on Nerdemic, we are going to be going through our regular sections. We have TV and film, anime, video games, the quiz, which Rick's going to do again this week. We have the science section and comics. But tonight is a very special show because tonight is Rick's last ever show here at ORB, and of course with us on Nerdemic.
Yeah.
It's so shy.
It's my last day because tomorrow's a bank holiday. I picked a very strange week to leave.
You chose a very odd week.
Well, no, you picked a great week because technically you should still get paid for tomorrow.
It's a bank holiday.
Yeah, you're meant to get paid on bank holidays.
Where? Not
Are you here full time or part time?
self-employed.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
If you're full time, see, you'd be getting paid tomorrow. Oh.
Also, it was quite funny when we announced it all because yesterday was April Fool's Day, and no one believed us.
Yeah, he's still going with it with this April Fool's. He's
Commitment. Next
see.
year.
Rick doesn't believe that April Fool's should be a day.
No.
He feels as though it's just April Fool's.
Yeah.
So for the entirety of April,
I fool around hard.
That's why he would be
I'm waiting
so
until-
well working in S.H.I.E.L.D. when he starts his new job.
I'm waiting until the 1st of April next year, and then I'm going to be like, joking, guys! And everyone's going to be like, oh, that Rick, he's such a kidder. And I'm going to be like, yeah.
now, by then we'll all, we won't know what to do without you. You just come in and we'll all be huddled in a ball, just like,
Rick, is it real this time?
Is it really yours?
Why would you have turned into Why would you have turned into a small Russian boy?
because that's what happens when you curl up in a ball for a year.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel, so, today's show, let's make it a corker. Did we all wear appropriate t-shirts?
We've all got something fairly geeky on.
Good,
Yeah.
I like it. Star Wars. DC. Why are you wearing DC?
He's not. He is.
Because I'm not all about Marvel, I do like a bit of DC, and it was a gift.
So was this. This was a gift. This is why I'm wearing it. This was a
It was
birthday
a gift
present
as well.
Mine was a birthday present from my wonderful girlfriend.
Mine was a
She
birthday.
supports the nerd. Thank you, Sarah.
Nice.
Callum.
Oh, I'm putting a drink. Sorry.
Too slow.
Oh, yeah.
That did get a bit Black Power then.
So we've
moving
got
on.
quite a lot to get through today.
have
So
a lot of news.
shall we move on to our first section?
Well, do you want to tell people how they can get in contact with us? For the last
Yes,
time,
a very good idea.
I've hinted at that.
Yeah.
Next week, you just won't find out.
No one gets in contact
Well,
anyway.
you can get in contact with us on YouNow, which is younow.com/Nerdemic show. You can like us and you can send us a message on the Twitter.
Apparently, they can send
On
us.
the Twitter.
They can send us sheep if they're on you now.
Send us sheep.
Send us sheep
I don't know what that means.
on YouNow.
There might genuinely be a sheep-related question in the quiz later.
Oh God!
There won't.
Can you think
not.
of
Are
any
you going to
sheep?
try and think of a sheep-related
I
question?
am now. Yeah.
Is that the
Just put it in
tiebreaker?
So wait until I do my sheep-related question that I've now got to scour the internet for, and then send in all your sheep. But yeah, send us sheep on you now, and send us messages on Twitter so we can all nerd out together.
Yeah, we're actually broadcasting for the first time on our Nerdemic show YouNow channel.
Oh, it's new.
We've
normally
moved
we
from
go on
ORB,
online radio BC.
but now we moved to the Nerdemic show, which says we need to get somebody who's on the ORB currently to start inviting all the people who would normally be watching.
Well, you're on ORB
I don't know
there.
how to use the system, so
Oh.
if you could do that when we do a segment.
Callum doesn't know how to type.
It's a
And then press
website.
enter.
It's,
Yeah, no, but
it's
it's
not
like-
really
it's-
the system. It's not like we're asking you to hack the Matrix here.
I don't know.
I've been busy with
man.
other things, preparing for the show tonight.
I can't.
Alright,
I don't have time to hack the Matrix. I've got exams.
Right,
So-
Always your excuse.
Just to repeat-
tonight was
Just to repeat, you can watch us live on YouNow. YouNow.com/Nerdemic show, and you can comment there. We'll read some of them out if they're amusing to us. Or you can get in touch via Twitter at Nerdemic Show, and we'll throw up any interesting tweets we get up on the screen there.
Indeed.
And read them out in silly voices, because
Yes, we will. I've been trying to do your one. I can't quite get it.
it's you've got to kind of imagine like that the back of your throat is closing up, and you're trying to open it purely through pushing air through your
I was
lungs.
going to say that sounds like dangerous advice.
Yeah, that's why I can't maintain it for an entire show. I do it for one little segment.
Okay, fair enough.
We might.
I'm going to try.
Go on here
We're going to have extensive lessons. There's going to be seminars.
It's a new
whatnot.
segment. It's
That'll be
accents of
an
Kieran.
excuse for you to call me.
Yeah.
You know, because
Do the voice, Kieran.
okay.
Okay, good. Should we?
Do you hear the construction?
Should we?
Should we crack on?
Should we turn round and try and do it each and see if people can
But all
figure
three
it
of
out?
us, or just you two?
See if people can figure out which one it is. We'll do that later.
Okay.
That'll be a section for when we're running out of time.
That'll be when we go out of time. But now we have the
Right.
news for our first section, which is
TV and film.
yeah, we're going to start.
See,
doing
I'm getting really good at that, aren't I, guys?
That was eerily impressive.
Thanks.
So we just got quite a bit of news to go through for today's story. Let's start with film.
Okay.
Okay, just making sure you got what we got. So it has been confirmed that Deadpool, the movie, will be rated R.
You didn't have to tell them that. We had a video to tell them that.
Yeah, we did. We had an amusing video.
Let's
to tell
I
them.
was
pretend,
about to make-
that Callum didn't say that.
You just
I was
ruined
going
the
to
fun
get
of the
on-
video.
I was going to get onto the video.
Yeah, but the video's the reveal video. That's
Alright.
like all the fun of it.
Alright.
Have
It's
you
like-
not watched the video yet?
No,
Oh, it's... Shall I just play it?
just play it.
You might as well.
Sorry about that, guys. We appear to be having some technical difficulties with the sound here, so we can't play the
transcend the
video
system.
just yet.
Should we move on to a different story and then come back?
Yeah, let's come back to...
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So
yeah,
let's move on to a quick story about information about. I'll just move to another story. Oh yeah, Marvel. There's some speculation going around about them searching for some 16 to 70-year-olds to play 17
Okay.
year olds to play Peter Parker in the upcoming Spider-Man in the MCU. The confirmation that Spider-Man will not only be Peter Parker, but will also be introduced in fashion in Civil War. But who will play him? According to some rumours, Marvel is seeking for a 16 to 17-year-old to possibly play Peter Parker. Though it's too early to say names, but speculation is there.
Okay.
So it just basically means we know that casting has begun, which is good to know.
What do we think about having a 16, 17-year-old playing Peter Parker?
It'll be refreshing, I think.
I'm perfectly happy with that because it allows me to go for an audition.
I'm really not.
Why not?
Really?
I think it'd be much better if they found an actor who looked 16 or 17 to play the part. Because, I mean, how many good child actors are there out there?
You're saying this sitting next to a child actor.
Yeah, but I've never seen you perform, and I assume you're terrible.
Thanks, mate.
That's all right.
It's the only assumption anyone can ever make. If he assumes you're terrible and then you actually turn out to be not terrible, then imagine the accolades you'll get.
Exactly.
That's the way it works.
You've never invited me to any of your shows, so how would I know?
Well, I'm doing Into the Woods in the summer. You can come to that.
Oh, do I have to?
You're doing it in the woods?
No, Into the Woods, the musical. Anyway, quick little plug from you now. Edit W has just said he was refreshing the ORB You Now, wondering why the show wasn't coming on, and then realised we moved to a different channel. So we need to start advertising that a bit more.
Well,
yeah. So moving on to another quick story. The next story, Disney have announced that they will be developing the live-action version of Mulan.
Mulan.
Mulan. I've never seen this film, so I don't know.
I'm gonna have some Mulan wine.
So after success of
Is it like a female mullet? A mullet.
Mulan. So after the success of Magnificent, Cinderella, and the upcoming Beauty and the Beast film, the
success of a film that hasn't come out yet?
No, that's a comma. It has been announced that they are going to be doing a live-action version of Mulan.
Mullen Royce.
So that will be
Mulan.
coming. That's just been reported recently. That should be estimated to be coming out around 2017 time because we're getting Beauty and the Beast next year. So Mulan should be the year after that.
I think Mulan will work really quite well as a live-action film.
It'd be good to see because
You haven't seen it. You didn't even know what it was.
I know what Mulan is. I just can't remember how to pronounce the character's name.
Yeah, I think it'll work quite well as a live-action, depending on obviously the CGI that they're going to inevitably have to do, depending on how well that comes across. But I don't know. It's one of those things that I'll be like, yeah, I'll go and watch, but I'm not going to hang on every little news story that comes out about it. What do you think?
No.
Just full stop, no.
No.
I'll probably go and see it. I mean, it was a good Disney film, but it's not one I'm really going to get hyped up about.
No.
Fair enough.
But
That's within your right, Kieran.
Yeah.
we might get quite hyped about it.
All I can say is they'd better have Eddie Murphy voicing a little red dragon in
Yeah,
it.
agreed.
Yeah.
Just has to be done.
So if we move on to a story I think you might get quite hyped about in the segment, we've had our first look of a sneak peek from the Suicide Squad film. It's a look at Gotham City's Arkham Asylum. It's a pretty mundane picture, but it gives a couple of little details as described by the film's director. So if we look at the picture, we can see it is Arkham Asylum's few folders, treatment records, process notes, and patient assessments.
So this gives absolutely nothing
It
away.
gives nothing
Well, actually,
away.
no, it does give something away because the Suicide Squad are all prisoners at Belle Reve, whereas having Arkham files implies that we might get to see some stuff like live-action Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
which would be quite cool.
Or it could just be that patients have been transferred from Arkham and those are the files that have gone with them.
I have heard some interesting stuff relating to the Joker.
Yeah. Well, that's
of
presumably
it.
what they're about because the Joker is
Yeah.
the most famous part-time resident of Arkham.
Supposedly, the Joker isn't being brought to Belle Reve to become a member of the Suicide Squad. He's being brought there to keep Harley in check. Because for some reason, Harley is more useful to the Suicide Squad than the Joker is.
That seems like quite an odd thing to do because surely you must know about the Joker if Harley's in the Suicide Squad. They must know that the Joker's the one that turned Harley into Harley. Therefore, he's dangerous. Why would you even unite the two of them? It seems bonkers.
Because they're they're cocky. I mean, they send out supervillains thinking that a little explosive in the back of their neck's going to keep them in check. I mean, the very first Suicide Squad graphic novel, Harley Gets Away. The very first one. And it takes the combined effort of the rest of the Suicide Squad to get her back again. Deadshot ends up having to shoot her. I don't know, but there's something about how Waller brings him in to try and keep her in check. So
that'd be cool.
I do think our early guesses about Joker possibly being the antagonist could be coming to fruition here.
Yeah, more and more likely.
I'm gonna let you read the next story. It goes on to the next page.
Yay.
So moving on to our next story, we have
Tron 3 to be called Tron Ascension. I've lost my mouse.
There it is.
Good.
Nope, it's gone.
You don't deserve a mouse, Kieran.
There we go.
Computer's really playing up today.
We have Ultron in the system, okay?
Okay, so hot off the heels of the announcement that Tron 3 was in the works, we may have a potential title for the film. The title listing in Production Weekly may be the answer we're looking for, as it clearly states, among numerous movie titles, some of which are very interesting, Tron Ascension. Now, you may be thinking, that's not a guarantee, and you're right, it's not. But it would fit with what Tron 3 could be about. Tron Legacy was very much about the legacy of Kevin Flynn and what it meant for his son. Ascension could be about the rise of Sam, or the re-rise of Kevin or Tron himself. After all, we know he's not dead. Furthermore, Production Weekly has stated that the movie is planning to film in Vancouver from early October 2015 through February 2016. Oh, and they say Tron Ascension in the tweet. Boom.
Good boom. That was the most awkward way to end something. Boom.
You can do the next story.
I really enjoyed it. Well done.
So, yeah. As we discussed last week with Tron, if it's like the first film...
What do you mean first film?
As in the first film.
As in Tron?
As in Tron.
Okay.
There's only been two films.
Yeah, but last time we mentioned it, you didn't know about the first one.
No, I did. I thought there was a film in between.
There is a film in between.
No, between Tron and Legacy.
Oh, okay. Right.
I thought there was a Tron 2 from back in the 70s.
Ah, okay.
But I was wrong. I thought it would...
Yeah, it's quite a long way to wait for a sequel, isn't it? Like 30-odd years.
30 years.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like Legacy. It was very visually cool and had about as much plot as the first one did. I've not gone back and watched it. It's a good kind of like action-y flick or whatever, but I'm not overly hyped up about it.
Sorry, I was just reading the next term. No, I'm not that bothered about Tron.
Oh, you get to read it before you have to read it out loud.
Yeah, well, he gave it to me. It's got a name in it, but fortunately I know how to pronounce the name.
Okay.
But it was about Suicide Squad, so I don't know why you didn't do it after the Suicide Squad thing. So we have recently found out that we've got Killer Croc casted. There he is, and it is the lost actor who played the tortured priest.
Echo was his name, yeah.
On the hit sci-fi drama Lost. He died pretty gruesomely in it. He got battered by that big smoke monster. He has appeared in also films like G.I. Joe, The Bourne Identity, Faster, and For the Dark World. So he's a currently Marvel fella, but he's heading over to the DC Cinematic Universe with his newest movie. According to The Wrap, he will play Killer Croc in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. This is Adewale Akinoye.
That's the reason I didn't want to do that story, because I couldn't pronounce that name.
Yep. And he's been good in quite a few things, hasn't he? Is he he would have been the big angry guy?
Yeah, he was the big angry guy in Thor 2.
Yeah, who like ended up being like a massive berserker angry thing. It was pretty cool. With Christopher Eccleston. That's weird, that casting choice. Okay, that's cool. So Killer Croc is going to be in the Suicide Squad. That's good. That's fun. That's interesting information.
I like Killer Croc. Killer Croc's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see them taking it down. I want the shark guy in it. Why is the shark guy not going to be in it?
The shark guy?
Yeah, one of the earliest members of the Suicide Squad is he's a giant half man, half shark that just goes around eating everyone, and he's awesome. He's basically the Hulk on their team. Because
his career went downhill after he finished on Street Sharks, which was awesome. But they haven't done anything since.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Well, what is he going to be? Is Killer Croc going to be in the Suicide Squad, or is he just going to be? Is he going to be an antagonist? I like the idea of him being an antagonist.
Unless they're bringing him in as a kind of replacement for the giant shark dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a giant crocodile dude.
What are they doing about Rick Flag? Are they still keeping Rick Flag?
I've not heard anything about Rick Flag, to be honest, since
because Tom Hardy dropped out, didn't he? Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the film necessarily needs him. I mean, I've read the first 2 graphic novels for Suicide Squad, and Flag hasn't actually appeared yet. It's Deadshot who leads the team.
Really?
Yeah.
They seem to be going that way. Well, probably a bit less, but in the Arrow TV series, Deadshot's quite a prominent member. Well, he was.
We'll get to that.
Quite a prominent member, so we'll see.
That should be in the game, exactly.
Yeah, but I think Rick Flag's pretty important to be in the Suicide Squad, as he was the kind of leader.
Yeah.
When it began, anyway. So.
I mean, I think he is a character that they could bring in for a sequel and just let Will Smith lead it for the first one.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because that is, I mean, to me, true to the comics. And Will Smith, he's a big enough actor to take that.
It's truer to the more recent comics. It's not truer to the old Suicide Squad, but the original Suicide Squad.
I suppose, yeah.
Where Rick Flag was the main member.
They do seem to be going for a more modern Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
With the current lineup, anyway.
But it has to be quite modern if Harley Quinn's in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Right, which one am I reading? TV. Okay, so on to TV. And we have some news about the Arrow Flash spin-off. So we have received word that Arthur Darvill, who you know mainly as Rory Williams from Doctor Who, has been cast as Rip Hunter. Rip Hunter is a major player in the DC universe. His time travel adventures are near legendary, if you know where to look. He has also been featured in the DC animated universe via Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Oh god, that was awful. I watched an episode of that. It was a joke. It was like Adam West Batman. In fact...
Adam West... Whoa. I resent the insinuation that Adam West's Batman was terrible. Adam West Batman was... He is my favourite Batman.
Okay.
Okay.
Carrying on.
Moving on.
In fact, when Booster Gold, who many thought might be in this series, questioned what made Rip so special, he replied, "You're a time traveller, I'm a Time Lord." Ooh, having that come from a Time Lord's companion. Let's have that line in there, please. Mic drop. Anyway, for the potential spin-off, Rip is being described as a roguish time traveller who hides the strains of being responsible for history itself behind a facade of charm and wit. So now we see where Russell T Davies got the inspiration for Captain Jack Harkness from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Have you guys looked up any of the information about this new Flash Arrow spin-off?
I've seen the Hawk Girl casting.
We're about to get onto that actually in the news.
Okay.
Good. If you would like to put on to the next picture.
I've seen a few. Yeah, well, I've seen this.
You can actually read it if you want.
Is it because there's a name that you don't want to pronounce?
No, you started talking about it, so you might as well read it.
Yeah, well, I have seen that Hawk Girl has been cast in the Arrow / the Flash spin-off. Hawkgirl will be one of the 3 mystery superheroes. She's not that mysterious anymore, let's be honest. Appearing in the forthcoming CW series that spins out of the Flash and the Arrow TV series. Kira Renee, I think that would be pronounced, who just made a TV debut last year on Law & Order Special Victims Unit, has landed the role of Kendra Saunders, who is Hawkgirl, which apparently is going to be the lead character. I like Hawkgirl. Did you ever see the animated Justice League?
Of course I did.
Series? She was quite.
Of course I did.
Quite.
Going around there with a big mace.
Yeah, she was quite just like no nonsense, really, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She just didn't care.
And you always got the impression she had a bit of a thing going on with Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there. Then Hawk guy,
Hawk dude,
Hawk bloke
Hawk
came
man.
on the scene and was like, yeah, no, you can't be with him. He doesn't have wings. Racist.
Racist, super racist. Because this, of course, was Jon Stewart Green Lantern, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Double racist.
Yeah. I've been looking up some stuff about this spin-off because
Shall I? Well, I'll carry on.
Yeah,
I'll just
go
say,
for it.
The series is expected to shoot for a mid-season debut next year, with Arrow producers Greg Berlanti, Andrew Kreisberg, and Mark Guggenheim at the helm. Guggenheim is an incredible name to say. Meanwhile, Guggenheim will run Vixen, an animated spin-off set in the same universe and featuring the titular league, Justice Leaguer. That series will debut later this year on CW. Seed, the network's online platform. So Vixen is going to be online only. Mm-hmm. Which is the only place I would watch it, but
yeah, true, yeah. I've been looking up some stuff on this because
because people are always wondering who the other two characters are. And is it Rip Hunter that's going to be one of them?
Well, there's very little information out about it because they've got two things coming up. There's a special episode which is the All-Star Team Up. Which we've seen a photo from, which has hinted at a few potential spoilers for Arrow in particular.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Seeing him in the Ra's al Ghul uniform.
Yeah.
But there's also on IMDb, up until today, it's actually been taken down. There was something credited as untitled Flash Arrow spin-off, which I've been kind of assuming it was just going to be the Atom. Because they're building up to that in the same way they did with Barry Allen, just over a much longer period. But one thing I found quite interesting about it, first of all, the All-Star spin-off also has a character that they've not really talked about much called the Bug-Eye Bandit, who is being played by Beth from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
And
weird.
Yeah. And when I did manage to get a look at the IMDb page for this untitled spin-off, one of the actors listed was Katie Lotz, as in the original Black Canary.
Sarah Lance. There's been a lot of talk about that. Is she going to be Sarah Lance? What's going to go on? People have been trying to explain her death as well, haven't they? Online. Obviously, Raish is about, so the Lazarus Pits is a possibility.
And they have basically spelled it out to us that the Lazarus Pit does exist and it does work.
Because he puts his hand in, doesn't he?
It's not just some Mojo Jojo kind of stuff. It's the real deal.
Yeah, which is odd because Arrow's never really done that before. Arrow did have the Flash.
I think Flash has opened up to it.
Yeah. But
there'll be some sciencey jumbo behind it, which will be announced.
I don't think they will. I don't think they should. I think they'll just
leave it.
Yeah, just be like, there it is. The whole Arrow Ra's al Ghul storyline. What side of the stop ripping off Batman line do you fall on that?
Oh, I don't know. I've not read enough Green Arrow comics because I did give them a go, but as I said to you, I couldn't get into the Green Arrow comics. So I don't really know how much of a link he actually has, whether he even has any link whatsoever to Ra's al Ghul.
Not really, no.
Yeah. So stop it. Stop it right now.
No, I think it's something that's never going to get explored with Batman. It is TV and film wise. I think it's something that's never going to get explored with Batman. So they might as well explore it with Arrow.
But the thing is, right? So Smallville was obviously successful, despite being pretty rubbish, especially towards the end. Got 10 seasons. Arrow has done really well, despite the fact that the character is not very well known outside of comic book fandoms. So then they went on to Flash. They tested the waters with a smaller character. Then they went for a bigger, a well-known one. Everyone knows the Flash.
The Flash is, I would say...
everyone knows the Flash, despite the fact he's never had a movie.
Yeah.
Other than some made-for-TV stuff.
And the Flashpoint Paradox, which was really a Justice League movie, wasn't it? And
it was an animated one, yeah. But now that they've tested the waters and they know that Flash has worked, Why can't they go for some of the bigger characters? Why can't we get a Bruce Wayne? Why can't we get a Clark Kent or Deanna Troy? You know?
I agree with Deanna Troy. I agree we should maybe get like a Wonder Woman TV series. But I think with characters like Superman and Batman, they've got such a big movie kind of heritage that I think it'd just get confusing to do another TV series.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, Superman Returns came out during like season 4 of Smallville.
Yeah.
You know, they were both terrible, but I mean, it's Superman. They did try with that Wonder Woman TV series, got a pilot, but nothing else. It looked pretty dreadful, to be honest.
It all depends on how you do Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I think she could be doing incredibly well.
I think they should take it back to like her true origins, like back to when she was meant to be a symbol for feminism.
Yeah.
But if she was tied up by a man, she lost all her powers.
Yeah, the guy who created it was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I quite like it. I'm happy with. I'm quite happy with the way Arrow's taken the whole race thing, because I like that storyline. I do like the storyline. And it is Batman. I know it is Batman's storyline, but I don't think we're ever going to see it. So Arrow's the closest thing to Batman in a way in the DC universe. They're pretty much the same character, only Batman's better. But I'm not too against having it. And it'd be quite funny if Oliver Queen just turned around and went, yeah, fine, I will be Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
That'd be quite funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Moving on, should we just move on to the
Yeah,
next story?
carry on.
Right. We had a little announcement recently from the BBC that the Game of Thrones star will be guest starring.
Which Game of Thrones
I
star?
was going to get to that in a second. I was
Okay.
just going to read the rest of the title.
Okay.
And then decide.
Wait, no, yeah. You read the rest of the title and we'll guess which Game of Thrones star.
What about the picture?
No.
I have the picture.
Oh,
here.
you've got
Yes,
the
the
picture.
picture.
And I've already read it.
And he's read the story on the chat.
Is it Sean Bean?
The Game of Thrones star, which is going to guest star in Doctor Who, the actor Maisie Williams.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Yeah, Sean Bean.
Started foot into the Doctor Who TARDIS recently during tour, and it has taken up a guest role, which will be airing in this season in autumn.
Cool.
Yeah. So basically, she just showed up on the day and became a guest character. Pretty much what BBC have announced is that it was a last minute
So
thing.
she just like rocked up while they were filming and was like, I'm going to be in this.
Do you reckon
just
that would
stood
work
in
if
the
I did
TARDIS.
it?
Yeah.
You might have to be in Game of Thrones for a couple of years first.
No, never.
I've actually met her.
Have you?
I went to a premiere for one of her films. It was terrible, but
Actually, my friend was in that film.
is that The Falling?
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend was in that as well.
You can't say that a film your girlfriend was in was terrible.
Yeah, she agreed it was bad.
Well, she can't say that either. You should be proud of your work, whatever it is, or don't do it.
Have you seen it?
No, I
No,
couldn't be
it
bothered.
doesn't get-
It looked terrible.
Then again, it doesn't get an actual premiere release until May. But I went to the actual premiere of the film and it wasn't great. It was a really odd, artsy movie.
So
But
you got to go and see the premiere of something, and you haven't done a film review on Nerdemic yet.
I went to see it before Nerdemic was a thing, and I did do a review on the Nerdemic show. But it was back when I did it with Luke.
Oh, okay. What? That
But when it gets released in May,
That doesn't count.
Well, when it gets released,
count.
when it's getting a cinema release.
We don't talk about Luke anymore.
When it gets a cinema release in May, I'll come on the show and I'll do my actual review.
Good. Do
All
it.
right. Well, I believe now we have two more stories. One with the video.
Awesome.
Yep. First story for that is leading on to some news we were just talking about with Deadshot.
Do we have sound?
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Could go either way.
Before we go to the trailer, I've got to use that as the last story for the section. We've had quite sad announcement from the showrunner that Deadshot will not be returning to Arrow. I remember last season we had the gruesome Arrow of Harley Quinn only to have her pulled out due to her character appearing in the Suicide movie. Well, it seems they've done exactly the same thing with Deadshot. The executive producer announced this recently regarding to a comment he was asked, saying that they have, unfortunately... First, thanks for the kind words, but I agree with you, our casting people in Los Angeles and Vancouver are the best. unfortunately, Deadshot is off the table for announce.
Yeah, well, I'm not that surprised, to be honest. But then again, you know, there's not much you can say about that, is there?
No. Shame.
I
but
have to say,
hopefully we'll bring in some new characters.
Arrow doesn't need Deadshot in it. The Suicide Squad that they've got in there, it looks like they're going to focus a bit more on a few more B Suicide Squad members, which isn't the end of the world.
Giant shark.
Hopefully. But they got that correct. The Huntress.
I don't. One thing I don't understand about this film, and maybe I've not been keeping up to date with a lot of the news. So are they in the same universe?
What?
Suicide Squad and the
No.
So why does it matter if Harley Quinn and Deadshot?
I think it's just because even though they're not in the same universe, they still want to avoid confusion with fans.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, that for us, that's like, yeah, what it doesn't matter. But for some people who like Arrow, are quite likely to go and watch the Suicide Squad movie.
For the Justice League film, don't they have Flash and Green Arrow coming in that?
Yeah, but it's not going to be it's not going to be.
Yeah, no, but
the guys
it's not
who
going to be how
play.
you do it on the TV show. But wouldn't that give that confusion? Because
I don't think they're having Green Arrow.
but they're
Having the Flash, yeah. But yes and no. It's different in that because that's the main character of the TV program. You can't continue having the Flash TV program without the Flash.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a why take out the mini people when you could have, I don't know.
You will understand in time. Is all I will say.
I would say I don't know a lot about the show for either. I've not been keeping up with a lot of the news.
You will understand in time.
When we get to there, when they finally start announcing a bit more, I probably might get a bit more about it. So I think that's all the news.
We've got a trailer.
We've got the trailer. Yeah, I forgot that.
Do we have a lead-in for it?
We do have a lead-in for it. I just had to turn the page. We've received our very first look. It is a short TV spot for Fear the Walking Dead, which is the spin-off to The Walking Dead.
But set like the other side of the world, isn't it?
It's
California.
set in Los Angeles, and I'm not going to announce a little bit more into it after we watch the trailer.
Hopefully this will have sound. If it doesn't, bear with us.
Yeah. We apologise if any technical difficulties happen that week.
Not sure if there was sound there or not, but it was basically just the zombie walking around, wasn't it?
If you actually continuing on to that, there was a bit of dialogue which goes over it, which is over the top of it, which is a radio broadcaster saying about it's a beautiful LA day, and there's a saying about outbreaks. So it is definitely confirmation that this is a prequel.
Sweet. We like.
So that's gonna be cool. So yeah, it's based in LA, which has been confirmed with this. It's a prequel, which has been confirmed by this. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm quite looking forward to that now. Yay or nay? Carry on.
What about you, Rick? What are your thoughts on a Walking Dead spin-off?
Prequel. Being confirmed.
Yeah, like them explaining a bit more.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a prequel. I mean, technically it's not a prequel because the first episode starts before the outbreak. And one of the things that's really tough to follow, I mean, Rick, you might have seen a bit from reading the comics compared to the TV show, is the comics at the point they're up to now, like they're on volume 20-something now, only about a year has passed in that time. So where we are in the TV show, which is almost caught up, to be honest, it's been less than a year. So, I mean, if this is meant to be a prequel, it's, going to have to be very small and self-contained.
Well, no, I don't. I disagree. What I think is the comics are their own.
Oh, hang on.
The comics.
Hang on, I think we've mended the sound. Yeah, let's try this.
Try it again. Yeah,
Try
go
it
for it again.
Go on out live.
Morning, Los Angeles. Hope you got your flu shot. Reports in 5 states that a strange virus is going around. So if you're not feeling well, go home, take care of yourselves.
There we go.
I'm happy we have sound now.
That was worth the wait.
It really, actually kind of was.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I think that the comic books is its own universe. The TV series is its own universe. The TV series can be on a completely different timescale.
I don't have a problem with them doing like a spin-off or anything like that. I mean, to be honest, it's just more of my Walking Dead fix, which is great. I'm all for it. Do spin-offs of all my favourite shows, please. No, it's more the fact that in order to call it a prequel, they kind of have to get around the fact that, you know, the first episode does start before the outbreak. They can't really call it a prequel.
Well, I think that the idea of the show is going to be, because if you remember in the first episode, he's not really a spoiler because it's the first episode of the series,
I like the idea of
season 6.
I like the idea of it being the outbreak.
Yeah. It's going to be the outbreak, because we didn't see it in episode 1 of the show. Because
that's what we need to be calling it. We need to be calling it the outbreak, not a prequel.
But
I think you're being really pedantic about it, because
I'm being intentionally pedantic, in fact.
So from now on, every time we talk about the fear of the Walking Dead here on the show, we'll call it the outbreak.
Yeah,
we won't mention prequel.
I think yeah, there were flashbacks that were before the outbreak, and I know the show started with him obviously getting shot, which the comics didn't.
Well, actually, in a way, it could be a prequel in a way, because I mean, if you think about it, it depends on how long it took to spread.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't know how long he was in the coma.
At the point Rick was shot, it could have already taken over California, and information didn't get out there or something. Yeah.
As the announcer said in the radio in the trailer, 5 states have been affected, but it sounds like it's just this mundane flu.
Yeah.
No one's thinking it's as big and
it'd be interesting to find out a little bit more about what it is. Well, hopefully.
It actually broadcast this summer. Anyway, so
I reckon if they're calling it a flu, it's basically implying that it is some kind of virus, because that kind of implies that at first people's symptoms weren't that bad, and that it's mutated.
Yeah.
Which, you know, would be great as well, because then it could further mutate on the show. You know, at the moment we just see these sluggish walkers going around infecting people and eating people. You know, what if we end up going down a bit of a Resident Evil route and we end up with, like, zombies that can run and are strong and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Add a whole new...
28 days later.
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see what they do, full stop. The only slight worry I have is that they rely on, I don't know, certain character archetypes. I hope there isn't a Rick, and there isn't a Daryl, and there isn't a Shane. Do you know what I mean? I hope they don't essentially just rewrite The Walking Dead, but with the same characters, but with different names.
In LA's accent.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I want there to be a kind of different, a different dynamic there.
I think they should go down the LA type of stereotypes. You have the glamorous person wanting to be a celebrity. You have the performer on Broadway. You know, the ones that stand in like costumes.
You just want someone running from zombies dressed as Charlie Chaplin, don't you?
Everybody does.
No, I want a better. I want a guy running from zombies dressed as Spider-Man.
There's every chance that Bill Murray could be in it.
I was just about to say they should hide out at Bill Murray's house.
Yeah. No. Do you know what I mean? I want there to be a bit more of a completely different dynamic than what Rick's group have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know how they'll go about doing that, but I think that's one of the tests that they have to do. Maybe it'll be less focused on humans killing humans and more focused on trying to survive.
From what I've seen, it seems like it's a much smaller group as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the photos they've shown have never showed more than 2 or 3 actors on screen at the same time.
One of them has been dead.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got to put press on, and we should now be able to show the Deadpool video that we were discussing.
Yeah. April Fools, it wasn't really broken. We just
we
clowns.
We broke the system.
A little bit of an intro to this. Yesterday, of course, being April Fool's Day, both Fox and Ryan Reynolds sent out a tweet saying that Deadpool would be a PG-13. Reynolds had been advocating the fact that he was
very vocally.
Yeah, he was very against the idea of this. He wanted it to be R-rated, or in the UK 18. So there was a bit of disappointment within his tweet. And then later on that day, he went on some American TV show to give an interview with the guy who played Slater on Saved by the Bell. And here it is.
All right, I am back with an exclusive with Ryan Reynolds live on the set of his new movie Deadpool, due out next year. How you doing, Ryan?
Pretty good, Mario. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for taking the time, man. So how does it feel, first of all, to be back in Vancouver, your hometown? It's like a homecoming, huh?
Yeah, it is, actually. I felt pretty lucky that we got to shoot here. It wasn't any of my doing, but it's nice to be around. My brothers are around. They're huge Deadpool fans. It's a nice little homecoming for sure.
Cool. Well, let's talk about Deadpool. I'm vaguely familiar because, of course, he was in Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. He was in Wolverine, but that's not the character we're putting on screen right now. Yeah, Deadpool is definitely a wisecracker, but I think the most distinct feature he has is he's a guy that's morally flexible and has a motor mouth. You know, he doesn't care if people love him or hate him.
And I heard the movie studio just announced that they're aiming for a PG-13 rating.
Yeah, we're working to. I mean, yeah, we're working to keep the spirit of the comic book alive. Though,
I think it's
no
smart,
what.
man, that you guys keep it family friendly. Because...
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go, so far as to say it's, family friendly, but
bottom line, Ryan, there may be a billion reasons to make a family friendly movie, as in sequels and toys. And listen, Ryan, if you
fuck you, Slater. April Fools. Deadpool will of course be rated R. It's okay, Jesse. Slater can't hurt you anymore.
Yes! It's good because it was genuinely... If you came across that and you saw that it was a 1 minute 37 video, you'd be like, okay, there's something going on here. But as an interview, it's genuinely... you're like, that other guy is excellent because you really hate him, don't you?
Yeah.
You really hate him. And you're like, yeah, Ryan Reynolds has every right to get annoyed at you, and then that happens and you just go, oh, got ya.
Now, one thing as well is, of course, we see Deadpool there while Ryan Reynolds is giving the interview, but they do actually show at the end of the video that is Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool costume.
Yeah.
So it's another little lovely bit. We get to see him in all his costume glory.
Yeah, 2016 is too long to wait for Deadpool. However, we do have a lot.
I reckon by the time Deadpool's about to come out, I will have just got over the Age of Ultron hangover. Because I mean, this year, we've got a lot. I mean, we've got Age of Ultron, we've got Mad Max, we've got Jurassic World, Star Wars. It's going to be a crazy year.
Yeah.
Film-wise,
It's gonna be fun when we review all of them.
Yeah. So
Isn't Dawn of Justice this year as well?
No,
that's
back.
Is it 17?
I think it's 17.
16, sorry. It's 16, isn't it?
Yeah, 16. No, May-ish, or is me back again?
I'm not quite sure, actually.
We'll get onto that.
So, is that it for our TV and film?
That is everything for TV and film today.
So, we're going to go into a quick song, one especially for Rick.
Well, I did want to have a chat about Flash, but I suppose we can't really do that, can we? Spoiler-wise.
Oh yeah, no, we can't.
Yeah.
But everyone watch Flash.
Just do it. Although I have very, very, very mixed feelings about the most recent episode. Very mixed feelings. And you and my brother have been like, what are you chatting about?
I loved it.
It was
man.
excellent.
I loved it.
I will explain.
Okay.
Yeah, if you haven't watched The Flash, watch The Flash.
And speaking of, our first song for the night is, of course, Flash by Queen. See you in a few.
I've not done this before. You're listening to ORB Radio 1, giving people a voice.
And we're back. Did you miss us? I bet you did. So just a reminder of how you can get in touch with us here at the studio. If you have any news on anything we've discussed, or there's anything you'd like us to bring up, there are a couple of ways you can get in touch with us. If you're watching us on younow.com/Nerdemic show, you can just comment and we'll read them. If there's something interesting, something funny, we'll read it out loud. Or you can tweet us at Nerdemic Show. It's all about Nerdemic Show. Just remember that. Nerdemic show.
N-E-R-D-E-M-I-C.
Speaking of you now, we had Sarah G just send a message in saying, just turn back in, Queen. Yes.
We love a bit of Queen.
Queen is good.
I love a bit of Sarah.
My girlfriend isn't watching.
She was like, oh, she was, but she left.
What? What is this madness? Be having words with her tonight.
That sounds ominous. Sounds creepy.
And then NHW performed by the Queen in one-off special. That's what you just sent in. Cool.
Okay, carry on.
Moving on to the next segment.
Anime!
We have the anime section.
The what?
Anime section.
What?
It's Japanese for anime section.
It's not how you say it.
It is, 'cause we decided this.
No, we
when
looked it up.
We did look it up, and
Rick,
that's how it was
remember when we
pronounced.
looked it up and that's not how it's
I
pronounced?
do remember, and I'm going to look it up again so we can just deal with this. Okay, carry on. Don't ignore
So what are we
me.
doing for the...
what
are we doing for the anime section?
Anime section.
Anime section.
Oh, for God. Anyway, moving on. As this is Rick's final anime section, with its last anime and its last Nerdemic show in general, I decided to do an anime I think most of us have seen. Here we go. We have, of course, Pokemon. No, I'm not just going to be talking about the first season, or the most recent one, which is the X and Y. No, I'm going to be reviewing all 18 seasons and all 18 films in the course of half an hour. Let's do this.
You're going to have to talk some quick.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly just overhaul all of this. So the Pokemon anime, which is often referred to as just the anime by Pokemon fans, is a collective term referring to currently 872 episodes, 19 movies, and a number of side stories focusing mainly on the Pokemon, being the Pikachu stories that we get before the films.
That is a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Someone should make like a 3-hour weekly show about that.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
So the main focus of all of this is on a character called Ash Ketchum, which is a trainer from Pallet Town who has the ultimate goal of becoming a Pokemon master. With his many friends, and most especially his Pokemon, which is considered his partners and best friends. Although the anime is mainly based on the games, it mainly has its own draw to its own concepts, as a lot of the characters and the actual concepts themselves are quite different between the two. The anime has been broadcast in 74 different countries and has been dubbed into a various lot of languages and different locations. To keep on this until I actually move on to the next one. The Pokemon Company International refers to the show as either the Pokemon Animated Series, the Pokemon Television Series, or simply the Pokemon Cartoon. Yeah, so I'm going to get into basically each of the major segments of the show, because there's been 5 different eras, you could call it. So if you'd like to move to the next picture, please. Thank you. We're going to talk about the very first one, quickly as a quick overhaul, which was the original series of Pokemon, which I'm assuming is the one that you two originally watched.
Oh yeah. When I was but a boy, I'd go home I wouldn't. I'd be home anyway. I'd get up every Saturday morning. I'd watch SMTV Live, the 2 Geordie lads, and they'd introduce it.
Can I just point out that this picture isn't from the original series?
No, I was about to get into this.
Okay.
So
You can tell by the hat. Yes,
yeah,
we all
you
know.
can tell
We're
by
all,
the hat.
That's how you tell.
we're all
Yeah.
Pokemon nerds here.
So, original series actually talks about the Indigo League, the Adventures in Orange Island, the Johto Journey, and Johto League Champions and Master Quest. As that was its all first major bunch.
And it was awesome.
It ran between 1997 and 2002 in Japan and 1998 and 2003 in the USA and Europe. The amazingly started off in Kanto, and as we know, went into Johto with the later series, Johto Journeys and League, and on from that.
Isn't this actually, to be fair, you've done this very well timed, because wasn't yesterday
Yesterday was
the
the
18th
18th anniversary, which is a good
to the day?
to the day. So there has been 274 episodes in this series, which makes it the longest one of the entire of all 5 of the different series so far. I'm going to get you to read a synopsis.
I thought you just gave the synopsis.
Yeah, but of the actual individual series. I'm going to get you to read one of these for each of them.
Okay, right.
It's Pokemon. You can read that.
A young boy named Ash embarks on a journey to become a Pokemon master. With his first Pokemon, Pikachu, joining him on his travels are Brock, a girl-obsessed rock Pokemon trainer, and Misty, a tomboyish water Pokemon trainer, who may have a crush on him. Satoshi and Co. And who's Satoshi?
Satoshi is Ash's Japanese name.
Okay. Ash and Co. end up traveling through various regions, including Kanto, the Orange Islands, and Johto, and then enter the Pokemon League competitions there. Along the way, they run into many confrontations with Jessie, James, and Meowth, a trio of Pokemon thieves who are a part of an evil organization called Team Rocket. Arguably evil. We've had this discussion.
I'm also going to throw it out there and say that they are arguably thieves. I don't think they've actually managed to successfully steal any Pokemon.
No, they haven't.
I'm not done yet. Hold on.
Okay.
But every time Team Rocket tried to do their evil deeds, they fail thanks to Ash and his Pokemon.
That pretty much describes all of the episodes.
Every episode ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Not every episode ever. A few later seasons broke down a little bit differently. So the main series that we're just describing there mainly focused on Fire Red and Leaf Green, and later on in Johto on Gold and Silver. It followed Ash with his Pokemon, which I believe was Bulbasaur, Charmander, which later evolved into Charizard, Squirtle, and of course, Pikachu.
Well, he had a lot more.
Yeah, but those are like the 4
the main
ones.
main players.
The main. Oh, yeah,
Charizard.
Yeah.
Charizard's hugely ooh, big.
Yeah, and then of course we had like there's a Pidgey, and he had a million.
Not Pidgey.
Yeah, but it's originally a Pidgey, and then he got into a Pidgey.
No, it was a Pidgeotto.
Called Pidgeotto.
Never had a Pidgey.
Okay. I'm just reading the script. Whichever. And then, of course, with the entire. This is the one that most people who love Team Pokemon have seen. Arguably, from
the first season.
The first season.
Yeah. There's no point in starting from anywhere that isn't the start. So, watch it.
So that's pretty much just describing the entire of the first season. Then later on, when the games of Generation 3 came out, which was Ruby and Sapphire, we then got the Advanced series. Move forward 2 more pictures, sorry.
2 more?
Yeah, I jumped 1 more. 1 more. Yeah, it's 2.
That one?
1 more. Well, we should have just been safe rating this through when I was reading the synopsis. There we go. Advanced series. Basically, we had a completely different cast, I could say cast, of people travelling with Ash, apart from Brock.
So one person
changed. But it was also a new region and a new style compared to the original series. And it contained the shows Advanced Generation, Advanced Challenge, Advanced Battle, and Advanced Frontier.
Ash's hat changed. That was pretty
Ash's hat changed again.
This is what he does. He changes his hat when he changes a season. It's some of his best work.
Yeah. This series ran from 2002 to 2006 in Japan, and from 2003 to 2007 here in the UK and United States. This series is a bit different to the original. They changed the format. So yes, it didn't have every single episode as the original series did of either him fighting Team Rocket, him battling one of the trainers, or he doing anything else related to that style that we had in the first series. A lot of these episodes were quite different, either they were Pokemon related to like an individual new, like there was like a few different rogue people who were trying to steal Pokemon, him training up to fight a gym.
Well, I suppose the thing with this is because this was based around the Gold and Silver games.
Ruby and Sapphire.
This one was
Gen 3.
Was this Gen 3?
Yeah.
Have we just skipped Gen 2?
Gen 2 was part of the original series.
Oh, okay. Of course it was. Yeah, I mean, by this point, we had a new team. We had Team Magma and Team Aqua.
Yeah.
So like you had to introduce them, but then we still had Team Rocket because of Jesse and James hanging around.
Such popular characters.
Some of my favourite some of my favourite episodes from the series actually is the episode where they involved Team Magma and Queen Aqua. There was this one, the ones when they actually had the Kyogre and Groudon battles in the actual anime, which were quite cool. Normally stuff like that was left to the films.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to read the synopsis again.
Let Rick do one. I know he wants to do one. He's trying to do the voices.
I'm not going to attempt the voice.
This one's really easy. You've just got to be kind of quiet, husky, and American.
No, I'm not going to. That doesn't work. I want to kind of Roger Parsons one off.
Okay.
After participating in the Johto League, Ash decides to begin anew in yet another journey. This time by himself and Pikachu in the land of Hoenn, though he isn't alone for long, as 10-year-old May, whom dislikes Pokemon but just wants to come along to see the world, travels with him after Pikachu destroys her bicycle. Yeah, that happens. Like,
every time.
I don't think Ash has had a companion that Pikachu hasn't destroyed their bicycle.
Serena and Dawn.
You don't know. You don't know, mate. Ash also meets up with his old companion Brock and May's younger brother Max. Together they travel along in Hoenn, battling gym leaders, entering contests, and other events along the way to the Hoenn League.
So that was Generation 3. And then we had another change when we had Generation 4 come out. I just realised how many series we actually were in all of this altogether. By this point we've had about 500 episodes 400 episodes broadcast.
It's currently on its like...
We're in 700, as I said earlier, it's now 872. We'll get to that in a bit. Now we move into Diamond and Pearl. Some people say this is their favourite series, some people say this is their least favourite series.
I think it was just that everyone seemed to love Dawn. The combination of Dawn and Brock, they were the perfect companions.
Yeah, Dawn was quite a big fan favourite. Also, Gen 4 series was quite good in some perspective for a lot of fans, as they did go into a lot of more competitive based battling especially they got into the actual league episodes. Then we had a Trick Room, we had a Darkrai appear in one episode. It was a Rain Team at one point.
This series, I'm going to be honest, this series really annoyed me purely because of the whole Pokemon League part of it. For the first time, Ash had gone in prepared. You know, his team were, for the most part, he'd fully evolved his Torterra. You know, he had an Infernape as well. Pikachu's obviously rocking the place. He had a Gliscor. He just had an awesome team. He goes in there and he ends up, spoilers by the way, sorry guys.
Yes, because I have not seen any of these.
I was more thinking of the viewers. But he ends up losing to a guy who uses
his team
legendaries.
Oh yeah.
And he uses a Darkrai. Are you allowed to use a Darkrai in the Pokemon League?
Yeah.
You can use whoever you like.
Of course you are.
What about in Nationals? Can you use them in Nationals?
No, you cannot.
No, I don't think you should be able to use one in the Pokemon League either.
Yeah.
And he has like a Latios. And it's just like,
He did have a Latios.
What's Ash meant to do? Ash managed to take down the Latios, but the Darkrai, no, all of his Pokemon was screwed by then. Ash should have won.
Did Darkrai just Dark Void everywhere and laugh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Ash should have won that league. That guy should have been disqualified. They should have been like, you can't use a Darkrai here.
So this show ran between 2006 and 2010 in Japan, 2007, 2011 in the UK and America. I have mixed opinions on this show. As I said, Dawn and Brock combination was quite good. The competitive new face was quite interesting. But the show had one problem, which was it went through its worst phase of filler. There was a massive filler section in the middle of it, because this series went over Diamond and Pearl, Battle Dimension, Galactic Battles, and Sinnoh League victors. So it had 5 series inside of it. And there was a massive bit of filler in the middle of it, which could ruin it. But
I don't blame them for it, because if you think, because the anime is in a way held back by the games.
Yeah.
This was the longest period between Platinum and Black and White that they hadn't had any new games released between Platinum and Black and White. It was such a long period. So they carried on with the anime, but they didn't have any new material to go to because they hadn't released a game for so long.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bit towards explaining it. But I know what you mean. Yeah, it was a bit.
Yeah.
They overdid it, but they couldn't go off air because.
No. But it's a good series. The film. I actually just hit off live. I apologise.
Pardon.
But yeah, the films are quite good. We'll get into the films in a minute. But now we're moving on to the next group of series, which is Best Wishes in Japan, or to know of us as the Black and White series.
Yeah.
With one of your favourite characters, I believe. You ran from yours a while ago.
If you talk to me about Siren, I'll slap you about the head.
Oh, I did not like Black and White.
Did you not?
I didn't like the series. I didn't like the games. I
liked
Generation 5
I lost interest in Pokemon for a while because of Black and White.
Yeah.
See, statistically, Black and White is what rebooted the Pokemon company.
Really?
Yeah, they'd lost quite a bit from Diamond and Pearl in that big gap, and then Black and White came
Diamond
back.
and Pearl.
And
It was the 3-year gap.
Diamond and Pearl was probably like my second favourite game before like Gen 6.
Diamond and Pearl was my second least favourite game.
Really?
Yeah, it is my second least favourite game.
I had this conversation with Rick earlier, actually. X and Y is my favourite, but the Gen 6 is my favourite, and then Platinum is my second favourite.
Oh no, it's all about Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
I haven't played
Just
that yet.
amazing. Just brilliant. Remake. Just always remake Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Well, they don't need to. That remake just still works. That remake is just still
So,
good.
as we previously mentioned, this was pretty much a sort of reboot to the entire series. It was. The only characters that really returned, Pokemon-wise, was Pikachu. Charizard appeared in a couple of episodes. Dragonite appeared a bit with Iris, who's a dragon trainer. But apart from that, it was all Pokemon from the Unova region.
And even this was the first time that he just went completely blind. There was no Brock anymore, was there?
No, there wasn't a Brock.
New companions.
We had a Pokemon connoisseur, played by everyone's favourite.
Silent, worst person ever. I really didn't like him.
Silent, aka Wish I Was Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not a Pokemon breeder, but a Pokemon connoisseur.
He had a catchphrase. It was just like... It was like... it was...
He'd always reference every battle to food.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's a spicy battle that I can get my tongue all over. It was always weird stuff like that.
Good. I'm certain he never said that, but yeah.
This one...
I would have liked him more if he started describing battles like that.
See, I said before that Generation 4 had an awkward bit of filler. Black and White had a really horrible... It got so annoying with the second series. We had Black and White Season 2, it was literally just called that, Rival Destinies, Beyond Universe Season 2, and Beyond Universe Episode N.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that was just a massive... The last few of those was a massive filler between Generation 5 and Generation 6.
There wasn't that big a filler between them.
It wasn't, but they went away from Unova into these island places which we don't even know about.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't do that with the Orange Islands.
Yeah, it pretty much was the Orange Islands again.
This series, it does have one of my favourite episodes in, which is you got to keep in mind with this Iris, one of his companions, who's training to become a dragon master. Something I know a little bit about.
Yeah.
In Black and White the game, she is the final gym leader.
Yeah.
In Black and White 2, she is the Elite Four champion. So, we already know she's going to achieve something Ash never will.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's an episode where Ash decides to get his Charizard back. And at this point, she has a rather angry Dragonite. And they decide to battle. And she ends up losing because she tries to use, I think it's Dragon Rush on Charizard. And is confused as to why it wasn't super effective. Because, of course, Charizard is a dragon type.
Charizard isn't a dragon type.
That's the point. She thought he was.
I remember. It's probably one of the better episodes of the series. But then, of course, we had Season 2, followed by season 3, followed by the End series, and it was a bit of a mess. The End series was quite decent because it was going into a lot of the evil dark side with because that was mainly around Black 2, White 2 style of the series. But yeah.
I like N as a character.
N as a character was quite good.
N's a very complex bad guy. It's good.
Yeah.
Rather than like the bad guys, rather than any of the Team Rocket.
Team Rocket was evil for once. That was the great bit. There was an entire period of the actual anime where we had Giovanni come back.
Yeah, he was after Meloetta, wasn't he?
He was after Meloetta. He was after the Landorus trio.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing episode with that. They wore the original colours for one of the entire season. They weren't in the white new version. They were in their original black with a red R.
Red arse.
Red R.
Do you
for Rocket.
do you guys know about why they made the decision? When they translated it to call Jesse and James.
Because of
it's because of
Sundance Kid,
a
isn't it?
really famous.
Because they've got
Well, who are their rivals within Team Rocket?
Butch and Cassidy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew that.
Jesse James and Butch Cassidy.
Oh,
Butch
yeah.
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little bit for the audience there.
Now moving on to a series I'm going to have a little bit of a talk about, which is finally the current series, X and Y. X and Y is currently broadcasting. It started in October 17th in Japan and January 18th in the rest of the world. And it's still broadcasting now. We're in episode 54, I believe. We're in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this one's a very similar series to the last one with X and Y. It was sort of a new remake. He moved to a new area, which only had Pikachu as his only companion from any other generation. No new companions. He's on his own. He meets up with Bonnie and Clement. They actually, for once, had a really good thing with Clement, because he is the Lumos City gym leader in the games.
Yeah.
He is also that in the actual anime as well. And a very good thing they have with that is that the first few episodes, he sort of hides it. And recently in the anime, it's been talked about he's now got to where he would getting the 4th badge, and Clement is sort of like, he knows he's going to have to fight his friend.
Ash's always hanging out with gym leaders, isn't he?
Every time.
Yeah,
pretty much.
and not knowing that they're gym leaders. He didn't realise Misty was a gym leader until they got to
her gym.
Yeah.
Silent, he didn't know Silent was.
Simon was the gym leader. Brock was a gym leader.
He knew about
We
Brock,
know about Brock.
yeah.
Unlisting ones he's been with who are gym leaders. I was with a champion in the games.
And a gym leader.
And gym leader.
He loves just randomly picking gym leaders.
So in this series,
Maybe it's not random. Maybe he's like, he's done his research and he's like, oh.
No, he's been very clever. He's entering into a league where you have to have 8 badges to get in. He goes to regions where they only have 8 gyms, and then he forces one of the gyms to shut down by taking their gym leader away.
yeah.
So no one else can enter.
So this series, he's gone away from magician methods. He's only got his Pikachu. He captures a decent team, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And his roster of friends is Serena, which was the female virgin character. Who's actually probably one of my favourite female companions since Misty. I liked May, I liked Dawn. But the connection between Ash and Serena is probably... It's the best of fan fiction for a lot of people. Heck, recently in Japan we had an episode which hasn't broadcast here in the UK yet, which was called Ash and Serena Go on First Date.
10-year-olds are too young to be dating. I'm throwing that out.
They really are.
Also, there's a bit of a reference that there might have been a age jump. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but they have been hinting to it. He might have grown up.
I don't think they can have Ash grow up,
No,
because
they
the
can't.
life expectancy of a mouse is only about 3 years.
They believe that he's about 12 now, or at least 14.
Pikachu's like, he should retire. He should be retiring now.
Yeah. Also, alongside this, we've actually been having a mini-series which has been floating around a character called Aelin, and it's been following about Mega Evolutions, in the Mega Evolution specials, which I've actually loved. They've been quite good. We had the first one, which was him fighting Mega Gyarados. Then we had another one recently, which has been in the Hoenn region with Steven. And then the most recent one has been this massive thing with Primals.
Nice.
Yeah, it is quite nice.
I did see a little clip of that with was a Mega Charizard X flying around Primal Groudon and Kyogre. Looked quite cool.
It is really cool. I would recommend it. Also, one thing I like about this team, I've actually got a little bit about their teams. This is like, you could make this into a competitive team. You have Pikachu, which you could evolve into a Raichu in the actual game. He currently has a Frogadier, which will eventually go into a Greninja.
Let's hope it's Protean.
I think it might be.
Let's hope.
We have a Fletchinder, which will probably go into a Talonflame.
Mm-hmm.
We have Halucha, which is an interesting one recently. And he has a Goodra.
That's only like his second dragon type,
It's his
isn't
second
it?
dragon type.
But to be fair to Ash, though, he doesn't have a huge amount of Pokemon to pick from in the X and Y series, does he? There's only, 60 odd
Yeah,
extra
true.
Pokemon.
No, but other people have been actually using older Pokemon, which we'll get to in a
Yeah,
second.
but that's the whole thing. Ash always, and that's why Ash doesn't reuse anything. You know, he his
Charizard,
Kanto
yeah.
team. Like, Squirtle would be a Blastoise.
And if
Bulbasaur would be a Venusaur by now.
If he'd forced Pikachu to just, evolve, I'd
Well,
love to see Raichu.
Give him a
rock
light
out.
ball. It's fine. Give him a light ball.
I really like the idea of. I really like the idea of there being an alternate universe Pokemon series where he does force his Pikachu to evolve. And he's just rocking around with a really moody Raichu.
Do you reckon that the reason why Pikachu doesn't want to evolve is because he wants to one day retire and become a concert pianist and knows that he'll lose fingers if he becomes a Raichu?
Yep.
Yeah. But with the Goodra, like, he only got it in the anime. We've only just had him appear in the English one, which is like 30 episodes behind. And he's already a Goodra, which is a level 50 Pokemon, as we all know, to evolve him into from
It's around level 50, something like that.
And he's actually a boss. He has a quite decent moveset as well. All of them do.
It's good because Ash has never really gone for any Pokemon that are just defensively beasts. Defensively beastly.
Serena, which has recently had a costume change, has
What is she wearing?
Hipster.
Some people have been using this as a theory that we might be getting Ved with a costume change, but I don't see that. She had a Fennekin, which evolved into a... I can't remember how to pronounce it.
That's not
Braixen.
Braixen.
Brixen. And a Pacham, which wears a pair of sunglasses all the time. Because she doesn't want to be a trainer, like pretty much every other one of his companions. So they don't want to be trainers. She wants to be a... like a little... You know, with X and Y, we had the introduction of the Pokemon, like the video thing.
Yeah.
She wants to be like a big star on that.
She wants to be an
Right.
actress.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Why can't they have someone that's going to compete with him in the Pokemon League? That's what I
we
want
have
to see.
something better. We have Clement, who's a gym leader, with a...
But we've already had gym leaders. That's the point. I want someone who's going out there trying to get badges like Ash.
That'd be quite cool. We have who has a Chespin,
We want Gary
Bumblebee,
back.
and a Luxray as his team, which I think is quite a cool team.
I think it'd be really good if he ended up having a companion that kind of just didn't care about Pokemon at all and just wanted to be like a fisherman or something like that.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the entire anime. It only took, what, half an hour?
That's not the
Yeah.
entire anime. You've missed every movie.
I was about to say the movies.
And you've missed Pokemon Origins.
Again, I haven't got onto the specials. That's
Okay.
just the anime.
Well, hurry up then. We've still got like another 4 sections to
Let's
do.
go rush through these because literally we had a special which was Pokemon Origins, which was mainly based around Red. It was more of a closer adaptation to Pokemon Red and Blue. Then we had the movies, which are, I'm going to list all of them. The first movie, which is also known as Mewtwo Strikes Back, the movie 2000, The Power of One, Special of the Unknown Entei, Pokemon Forever Celebrate, Voice of the Forest, Pokemon Heroes, Latios and Latias, Jirachi, Wishmaker, Destiny Deoxys, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, the Rise of Darkrai, Giratina and the Sky Warrior, Arceus and the Jewel of Life, Zoroark, Master of Illusions, White, Victini and Zekrom, Black, Victini and Reshiram, Zekrom versus the Sword of Justice, Genesect and the Legend of Wakem, Dynasty and the Kuna's Destruction, and the film which comes out in later this year, which hasn't got an English translation yet for its name, but is the in Japanese, the Arc Journey of the Rings Hoopa.
Cool.
So I think it's Archjin.
I don't know.
I think that's what it's going to be titled. It's a really weird.
It's a weird word.
Jin. But I
Out
think
of those, the ones I would recommend would be the first one, the third one. So the first movie, Spell of the Unknown, and Tide, Latios and Latias.
I would recommend them all. I'm throwing
All of them good, but like
The
my
Keldia
personal
one was a
favourite.
bit pants.
Cal was a bit pants.
Salt for Justice.
Most of the ones during Gen 3 and Gen 4 were quite good. And the most recent one was actually very good as well. Dynasty Cocoon of Destruction.
Not seen that one yet.
I have. It's good.
I would say
But that's all of them.
if you want one that the first one, obviously watch the first one, and then watch Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. If you're only ever going to watch two, those were the two that I would suggest.
You know, I love Lucario, so
It's a
all
good
of
one.
that.
It's really it's like
It's really dark.
it's a bit more grown up, isn't it? Which is good.
The ending's quite dark. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's quite dark.
Right, so
That's it. Now moving on to a new section.
Do you want to play your real quick song because I got it ready?
Yeah, we've got.
sorted it.
Oh yeah, we'll go into a very short break when you set up the next thing, which I think is gaming.
Yep. So
is here for you.
join us back here in a couple of minutes for the gaming section. This is the Pokemon X and Y opening theme.
Welcome back.
Reminder of how you can all get in touch with us. If you're watching us on younow.com/Nerdemic show, you can comment in the side panels. I've enjoyed reading some of the comments before. Elliot was saying that White was actually his first Pokemon game.
White.
Yeah.
Black was mine. Actually, Gold technically was mine.
I mean, all I can say is that Pokemon Black is what sparked the Pokemon show. So
Okay.
there were no Pokemon show before Pokemon Black. Pokemon Black kicked that era of my life off. So I've got to have a little bit of love for Generation 5.
Nice.
Fair enough. You can also tweet us at Nerdemic Show, which would be lovely.
And then on you now.
Just do it. I've said you know.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, you were right here, Callum.
I'm.
Come on, dude in the middle.
Yeah.
Kitty's not on today.
Come on, guy in the middle.
I feel that we've been using his actual name too much.
I know. If
Well,
we say
Kitty's
it
not
too,
been enforcing it today, so.
if we say it too many times, he'll appear
It
at
humanises
random.
him.
Yeah. He thinks he's people. Okay, so let's go into our next section, which is video games.
I love the voice. It's such an amazing.
Creepy!
Oh, come on, guys.
I'm uncomfortable.
I love your voice.
No, I didn't say it like that.
You did.
Anyway, on to the news. We've recently, yesterday.
Yeah, let's. I think we should blitz through some of the video game news because we're
Yeah, I'm
smashing through the show.
blitzing through this. I'm going to literally just blitz through this all. We had Nintendo Direct, which was, as anyone doesn't know, pretty much this big, an hour and a half long announcements from Nintendo. So with this, we had our first picture of the story, which is new amiibos will be coming out this year. We had Dr. Mario, we had Zero Suit Samus, Splatoon's inklings from the upcoming game Splatoon, as well as Charizard, Pac-Man, Jigglypuff, Greninja, Hot Robin, and Nez.
Did you just say Hot Robin?
No, I didn't. I said Robin and Nez.
Hot
Do
Robin?
you fancy Robin down in the middle?
Well, you know what worries me?
What?
Dr. Mario. Check your plumbing. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, Dr. Mario is a gynecologist. Where's he going to put that pill?
That's
The
a
thing-
suppository.
The thing I don't get about this whole amiibo thing is why did they not just release them all at the same time? It's so unfair on people who people who like playing Super Smash Brothers with Charizard. They've got to wait until April 24th before they can actually get their amiibos. It's just not fair. One guy I know at Street Pass just had to spend like 30 odd quid on getting one imported from Japan for a character he likes. You could buy a game for that much. Come on, Nintendo.
Amiibo have a big issue with the fact is that they do have a lack of stock, and B, it's insane. We'll get onto that at a different time.
Is Amiibo just basically like Skylanders?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Basically, the Wii U and the new 3DS has a little pad on it that each one of those has a chip in the base of it. And when you're playing Super Smash Brothers, because you can customize your characters, basically it's kind of like you level up your amiibo, and then all the changes you've made to it, you then, if you want to go and play on someone else's Wii U, you just take your amiibo along, put it on the control pad, and you're playing with your.
So it's just an SD
version.
card.
Pretty
It's a
much.
fancy SD
It is.
card.
Yeah.
It is.
Moving on.
Some of the customizations people have done with them are pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's worth having a look at them.
Moving on to the next thing, we had an announcement. We had the awesome thing that Mario Kart 8 will be getting a 200cc speed boost for free. Yes, a DLC that you do not have to pay for.
Shocking.
Yeah, so this will be coming out April 23rd. There'll be an update to the game which will allow some basically downloadable content with faster car and a new selection of tracks, which will be awesome. I personally love Mario Kart 8, so...
I can't play Mario Kart.
Why not?
I had my license revoked.
I thought you were going to say you get travel sick.
Yeah. Then we also, moving on to a bit of different news, Mario Kart 8 will be getting an Animal Crossing DLC in April 23rd. That's all we know about it. There will also be a Puzzles and Jungle Super Mario Bros. Special Edition. That is a completely different game. This comes out on... The demo comes out this month, and the actual game will come out later on in the year, but not much information has been given out about that apart from the demo is on the 30th of April, and it will be a connection between Puzzle and Dragons and the Super Smash Bros. Series.
Right.
Some DS and Nintendo 64 titles will be getting some eShop vertical console for the Wii U releases. These include Super Mario 64, Yoshi's Island for the DS, WireWave Touched, that's a weird name for a game, Yoshi Touch and Go.
That's okay.
Donkey Kong 64, Mario Kart DS, Paper Mario, and several other smaller Nintendo 64 games, which would be cut down to about $2 each.
Nice.
Yoshi Touch and Go.
Yoshi Touch and Go. That's a game.
Don't know how I feel about Yoshi Touch and Go.
We've also got the news that we will be getting Mewtwo finally is now going to be released for anyone who registered their copy of Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS before the deadline, which was March 31st, so 2 days ago. Will now be able to get the downloadable content for Mewtwo for Super Smash Bros. On April 15th. For anyone else who didn't sadly get both those games and put them into the system on the Club Nintendo website, you will be able to purchase him for £4.
Wow. I mean,
That's
Mewtwo is worth £4, but wow.
We think it's $3.99, but yeah, that's not that bad. I would say. Well, it's $3.99 in dollars.
I don't know.
So
I
that'd
think
be cheaper in
for a
fact.
character on a game, that is
Yeah.
Well, it's $3.99 in dollars, so we might be guessing the currency change could be down like £1.50.
I'd be willing to pay it if Mewtwo was like one of my favourite playable character on Super Smash Brothers, but as he's not, I think I'll give it a miss.
Yeah.
Nate Craddock would be upset.
Oh, another invasion to Super Smash Bros. The character from Earthbound, Lucas, is going to be added in a DLC in June. The character who previously is in Mother 3, who was in the Super Smash Bros. Brawl back on the Wii, has been announced that he will be returning to the game as part of a DLC later in the year. We've also had the announcement that Mario Maker, the level design game, will get its launch in September.
That's good.
This game I'm much looking forward to for myself. It will allow you to personalise your own creations of a Mario level from any generation, far back as the first up to the recent 3DS release. This will be announced to come out this September on the Wii U. Attack on Titan, Humanity in Chains will be coming to the 3DS in the West. The game that previously was released back on the 3DS in Japan in 2013 has been announced to finally get a US and Western release. We have a trailer, let's watch.
It was like a nightmare that stayed for me.
I'm looking forward to that.
As am I. I am getting that game.
There we go. We'll probably, if we can get a capture card, we will show it on the show. If not, we'll just keep up to date with news and information related to it. I'll do a review when it comes out.
Nice.
You guys, you can just ask me if you can borrow my DS.
Can we borrow your DS?
No. Yeah, of course you can.
That's why I did not ask.
Yeah, we knew you're not going to be here. You're being shielded, and I don't think shield allow people to give out things.
You can borrow my DS as long as I can borrow both of your DSs.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Why both?
Why not?
Okay.
Double the DS.
LAW on YouNow has just said he's most excited for Splatoon, Puzzle and Dragons, and possibly Mario Maker. So that's all of Nintendo Direct. There was a ton of trailers also released, which are on the Nintendo YouTube. I will put a link to that on the Facebook page. A very quick last bit of news for the gaming section is that we have had an announcement from Microsoft that Halo 5 will be getting its release date on October 27th this year. Bit early, I would say, but
Why early?
because the last one only came out about a year or so ago.
No, it's more than
It
that.
was 2 years ago. It was back in 2013.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind, like, Assassin's Creed games come out every year. They released 2 last year.
But I'm most worried about the fact is that, well, I like this series. I don't want it to turn into a Call of Duty.
To be honest, I don't think you need to worry too much about this one because it's the first Xbox One Halo game. They've been working on this one for quite a while. Like, I'm fairly certain they started working on this before Halo 4 came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gutted because I don't have an Xbox One, and I love the Halo series, and I want to play this game.
Yeah.
And like the trailers are showing him going up against other Spartans, which I want to be all over that.
I have a friend who does have an Xbox One, and he said he will give me access to it to do a review of this game when it comes
For
out.
money.
Don't say don't allow access. Say that you can
He'll allow
borrow
me to
it.
play. He'll allow me to come and play it.
He'll allow you to borrow it because otherwise there's going to be some weird kind of charging thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna have played it. He's gonna know when you get to like the really hot points in like the levels or the cutscenes, you know, the story wise, and then it'll be like 50 quid. You want to keep playing? 50 quid, and he'll like turn off your controller. And you'll be there, and there'll be like, you know, Spartans and elites coming at you, attacking you, and you'll be like, why doesn't it automatically pause when the controller disconnects? This is so frustrating. And you have to watch as Chief dies.
Alright, so that's the end of the gaming section. I believe should we use this as a segue into the next section?
Yeah, we're going to segue. We've got a song here, a song that I am a huge fan of, that's been going around the internet for a while, so you guys will most likely have heard it.
I'm not done anything.
It's Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf by the amazing Rob Cantor, very talented fellow. However, some genius has edited together their own.
It is time for the quiz, everybody. So this week I've done a picture quiz, but I'm currently in the process of loading in my pictures because I didn't do it, so nobody would be tempted to look at them and do a little cheat.
How would looking at the pictures even help us really all that much?
It might. You just don't know, do you?
Will, if he does a
Have you got to say what you see?
say what you see,
I do have a say what you
then
say.
yeah,
Love
that could
it.
have helped.
Love it.
Right, okay. So this week it is my last quiz, yes. But it's here. Here's my sheet. Found my sheet. Panicked a little bit. Basically, they're all kind of comic book and superhero related. All the questions. So, and I think some of them are pretty easy.
Okay.
So I'm expecting.
You said this last week,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
scored a 2.
I am expecting I'm expecting at least 4, maybe even 5.
What I'd like to say to you, Kieran, is that this will be the first point of the new month for our scoring system.
Well, we're going to have to sort out some kind of new scoring
I think it's
system.
just between you and me, and we'll have like every.
Well, yeah, obviously it'll be
yeah.
between you and me, but like, if I'm doing the quiz and you're the only one in here, obviously you're going to win.
I think we'll do it as in like who gets the highest.
We'll sort this out another time.
I know
We're
how we.
short
I
on
just want to know how we
time.
can do this. Simply, we just add up our scores.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
I want some questions now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to do the forfeit from last week still.
Well, you keep reminding us.
don't
Question
mean
number
to.
1. Are you ready?
Yes. Go.
Point your eyeball devices towards the picture showing screen. Yeah, I had to do a Deadpool question. Deadpool is a blatant rip-off of which DC character?
This seems somewhat like conjecture here.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. Deadpool is a rip-off of which DC character?
I'd say an improvement.
I will agree with you, but some aspects of this are very weird.
Okay.
Deadpool is a rip-off of which DC character? Let's move on to question number 2. Which comic book character was the inspiration for Darth Vader?
I do know this. I can't remember the guy's name though.
It has been actually stated by George Lucas.
Yeah, no, I've seen like pictures of him. And I know that he's regarded as the first ever like masked supervillain. I just can't remember what the guy's name was.
I've described him, but I can't give his actual name.
Okay. Right, well, basically the answer I've got, neither of you are close to.
Okay.
From what you've just described to me. So, what I want to know is, what comic book character is Darth Vader based from?
Okay.
That's question number 2.
I think I've got that one actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Number 3. I love this question. This question's heartwarming. In 2002, Marvel created a comic book hero to encourage Anthony Smith, a 4-year-old boy, to wear his hearing aid. What was this comic book character called?
I know the story. I can't remember the name of the guy though.
So basically what happened was Anthony Smith's parents wrote to Marvel exclaiming that he wouldn't wear his hearing aid because no superheroes wore hearing aids. To which Marvel replied that actually Hawkeye was partially deaf, and then they decided that they were just going to create a comic book hero for the young lad and published a comic. But what I want to know is, what is the name of this superhero? All the answer to this question is maybe logical. You've got enough information on the screen there to figure it out, I would say.
From the look of his insignia, I'm going with Wi-Fi Man.
You don't have signal, dude.
Mine's not too far off.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if they did a film about Wi-Fi Man and he was being played by Kevin Bacon and it was just one huge advert for EE?
Let's move on.
Question number 4. This isn't the question that I'm going to ask. Question number 4 is, which comic book series inspired the font Comic Sans?
So an actual series. It is a Marvel DC series?
I'm not going to specify.
Say.
Yeah, so which comic book series inspired the Comic Sans font? So that's question number 4. Question number 5. It's a sheep question. In an alternate reality, which superhero became Sheep Boy instead of his usual alter ego?
So wait, are you looking for the alter ego or which universe?
No, which superhero?
So you're looking for the person who...
Yeah.
Marvel 6-1 Set 52, I was thinking...
Right, yeah. No. So what superhero in an alternate reality ended up as Sheep Boy rather than his usual alter ego? There will be no clues on there, Callum. I already...
No, I'm just reading that greatest villain bit.
Yeah. Wolf Boy or something like that. Is it?
The Wolf.
Yeah. So which superhero in an alternate reality became Sheep Boy? It's great. It's just great. It's just. I need some sheep right now, everyone. I did say it, and I kind of made it feel like I wasn't going to do one, but I did do one. Question number 6. Superman was once mind-controlled into recording a sex tape. By which villain? You can see the villain up there. I want his name.
Was the sex tape with him?
Hey?
Was it
the
with
sex-
him,
was
or
it-
was
was
it
it-
him
No,
having
no,
sex with
no,
somebody else?
no.
Do you know who?
I think it was Wonder Woman,
I'd watch that video.
but I can't be wrong.
Okay.
My girlfriend just texted me saying, "What is it with this moon place? Every 2 steps there's a bloody Pokemon who wants to battle." She's experienced Zubat rage right there.
Oh, she's leveling up.
I couldn't be prouder. Genuinely couldn't be prouder. I'm having a teary moment. Right, so that's question number 6. Superman was once mind-controlled into recording a sex tape. By which villain? This is his name here. I'll give you a clue because it's quite difficult. It's a 1-word name.
I've got it.
Cool. Question number 7. This is excellent. What country has the Joker been a UN ambassador for?
Wow.
It's also super racist.
I've got it from the costume.
The costume is a slight hint. I left it in. If you can't read what it says, I am proud to speak for the great, and then obviously it goes to say the name of the country. That country's current leaders and I have a lot in common. Insanity and a great love of fish. Wow. It was not politically correct to do this. Yeah, so which country was the Joker a UN ambassador for? The comic book universe is just mental. There are
Check out the chin on him.
I know. Yeah. He looks like an Egyptian god, but
Do you think the reason he wears clown makeup is so that people would call him the Joker instead of him being titled the Chin?
the impossible chin. So this is question number 7. What country has the Joker been a UN ambassador for? Question number 8. Give this book a read if you can. According to the book Becoming Batman, the possibility of a superhero, how much money would it actually take to become Batman? So this book is written by, you can see here, E. Paul Zare, who's a neuroscientist, keen martial artist, and comic book enthusiast. His words, and he has gone like full on in depth on how a normal person would go to and actually become Batman.
Are we going to do it to the closest?
Yeah. One of the conclusions that he comes to is if it is possible, but you would be dead within a couple of years just from the physical strain on your body. But what I want to know is how much money it would actually cost for you to become Batman. Now, if you want a little bit of a hint, it's not really a hint. It's neither here or there, to be honest. People have calculated that Bruce Wayne is actually worth $80 million.
80 million.
80 billion, sorry. Okay. $80 billion. So what I want is the actual, in dollars please, the actual number that it would apparently take for me and you to actually become Batman.
Oh, so 2 people?
No, but you know what I mean.
I'm just messing. Or technically 3, but I know you're talking.
This book is interesting. It's very analytical in ways, and it's not like this stuff is impossible. It's like, right, so let's assume that we're going to do this, and let's assume that we can do this, and let's assume that we're not going with some of Batman's more over-the-top human abilities. So it's going for like the more movie Batman than some of the bits where he like leaps off buildings and survives and stuff like that. It's quite interesting.
Cool.
Worth giving it a go. Let's move on to question number 9. touched on this earlier, but what real-world invention did the creator of Wonder Woman also invent? If you think about it, it actually is obvious. It's not obvious, but once I tell you, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I've got one, but I know it's
I've got
awful.
a funny feeling I know this.
Yeah.
It's not the push-up bra.
So what
She's not even
real-world
wearing one
invention... Yeah. What real-world invention did the creator of Wonder Woman, who was a guy and a feminist, he was also a bit weird because he lived in this house with two different women, his wife and his mistress, and he had children with both of them.
So he's a Mormon.
He was very... No, he was just... He wasn't even... He was just so strange.
I still don't understand this thing about, like, Wonder Woman's original weakness is he was tied up by a man, all of her powers were drained.
It was the idea that an Amazonian, like, if she were to let herself be put in that position, she would have failed in her duties as an Amazonian.
That's insane.
This guy genuinely believed that we were heading towards, which this bit makes sense, but the bit afterwards is mental, that we're heading towards an age of a matriarchal society, but he also believed that they would end up tying up men and just using them as sex slaves.
Okay.
That females would do that. It was he was an interesting person.
I think I know what he invented.
Yeah.
It's those tinfoil hats he used to stop satellites getting into your brain.
Moving on to number 10.
He's an interesting person. He had some good ideas, but he was genuinely a clever person. He was like a psychiatrist, well-known psychiatrist, but he also had some absolutely mental ideas. Let's have a look at question number 10. What well-known celebrity has the Punisher protected in his comics?
I remember this.
I have like a passing memory of every question you've asked, and it's just not been one that's stuck.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah. What celebrity, popular celebrity in fact, has the Punisher protected in his comics?
Is it just 10 questions?
Just 10 questions. I do have a tiebreaker if necessary.
Don't worry, my answers are so bad this week.
Well, you'll see the tiebreaker later. The tiebreaker's interesting, to be fair. Right, so are you guys ready to swap over your sheets?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. My answers are equally as bad.
Yeah. I've just realised what I haven't done.
Damn it! I completely forgot he exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
just realised. Give me 1 second, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Quizzical.
Sorry, it's the last time I'm going to hear that. I had to do it. Right, so you guys switched around your sheets.
I'm annoyed by this.
Are you guys ready?
I don't know whose I've got, though.
Right. So, question number 1 was, Deadpool is a blatant rip of which DC character?
Callum's gone with Adam Walker.
I was an idiot and I completely forgot the actual answer, which Kieran wrote down, which is Deathstroke.
Yeah. What's Deadpool's real name?
Wade Wilson.
What's Deathstroke's real name?
Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a horrible rip-off, it's unfortunate.
See, I remember hearing...
I don't think they were ever expecting it to be as popular a character as it became.
I remembered hearing that a while ago when I was reading into some history of Deathstroke, and I thought it was hilarious, but I completely forgot Deathstroke's name. I put the Punisher, then I realised Punisher's Marvel, and I just thought in my head, I need to think of someone I know who's in the DC universe.
Hey, Marvel sometimes rips itself off. The Human Torch from the Fantastic Four is not the first Marvel Human Torch.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, so that's question number 1. Move on to question number 2. Which comic book character was Darth Vader inspired by?
Callum's gone with the evil guy from Flash Gordon.
You know, the Emperor one.
Emperor Mong. Or Ming, is it?
Ming.
You know what?
Ming.
Ming. It is Ming.
Yeah.
And Kieran's gone with Jaden Smith.
Yeah. The correct answer, I can't believe either of you got this. There's a picture of them both in the same pose, and it's just horrifically obvious. Doctor Doom.
No. I might argue that with you later, because I read an article where it shows a very different supervillain that he was based on. I can see the Doctor Doom working for it, but yeah.
Apparently George Lucas has actually said it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, same with this one. I only read this like the other day. Is he just going around saying, "Oh yeah, I based him on Howard the Duck"?
I was going around saying some stuff.
Who did you base Darth Vader on? That guy in the middle.
That caused me to be Anakin Skywalker right now.
Could be. You've got a bit of, bad acting about you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Neither of you have seen my career.
And you annoy me as much as episode 2, so.
Thanks, guys. I feel really appreciated right now.
To be fair, you did compare yourself to Anakin Skywalker. What did you expect?
Good.
We got to keep your ego from getting too inflated.
Question number 3.
Surprised it was inflated.
Question number 3. Do you know what this superhero is called?
Callum has gone with Signal Man.
And Kieran's gone with the hearing aid.
Aid, like it's a play on words.
Yeah. No, his name's the Blue Ear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there he is. It's a lovely story, though, isn't it?
Pretty much all these questions, you're going to say the answers, and I'm going to kick myself and be like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lovely story, though, isn't it?
It is.
You've got to admit, it is lovely. And they even paid someone to dress up as Hawkeye and go round to like the comic book Hawkeye, not Avengers Hawkeye, because remember this was before Avengers, and go round to see the kid and give him a blue ear costume, and he was in a blue ear costume with Hawkeye. It's pretty cool. Right, let's move on to question. Ironically, though, the blue ear didn't have bad hearing. He had acceptable hearing, but just had a hearing aid so he could hear better. There you are. Question number 4. What series of comics inspired the font Comic Sans?
Callum's gone, I think he's Felix the Cat. Isn't that the one from the cat food advert?
Felix the Cat is a 1920s/30s comic strip. It's one of the very first comic books.
Okay, cool.
And then Kieran's gone with Fantastic Four.
It is The Watchmen.
Cool.
Yeah, bet you didn't know that, did you?
Well, no, go to put it down.
Yeah, apparently after... See, like, I don't know, I think because Comic Sans was something that comic book fans created just to be, and Watchmen has had so many nerdy people who go on and who are inspired by Watchmen, so
yeah,
makes sense once you think about it. Question number 5. In an alternate reality, which superhero became Sheep Boy instead of his usual alter ego?
Callum's put Kid Flash.
And Kieran's gone with Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
I thought that this one was really obvious. So I avoided saying that he got bitten by a radioactive sheep, which is true. But was it the writing on Sheep Boy that gave it away?
No, it's the fact that I read a lot of Spider-Man comics, and that's quite clearly Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But yeah, the font is a dead giveaway as well.
Yeah, so I was considering changing it, but then I thought...
Why is it that as a sheep he's a boy, but as a spider he's a man?
You just don't know.
It's actually just Lamb Boy.
Yeah,
and then
there it
he
is.
grows up into Sheep Boy.
Peter Parker bitten by a radioactive sheep.
Did you make this up in the last 5 minutes? Not this. Not
this is genuine.
No, not the comment. The question.
No, it's been a question from the beginning. That's why I kind of tried to milk what I said earlier. Nice. There he is, Peter Parker. For a brief while, was Sheep Boy. And they tease at the front, which was a lie, but apparently they were like, the first of 80 issues. They lied. God. This was a complete mick take.
Yeah.
Question number 6. Superman was once mind-controlled into recording a sex tape by which villain? This is a true comic book story, and his background is quite big in the Superman universe.
I'm slightly offended by what Callum's put. I'm not sure I want to read it out.
Really?
On the air. Yeah.
Go on.
Callum has put Clondar.
I'm offended. I'm hugely offended.
I think we should make him lose points for that.
Clondar can mind control, but Clondar has no need for sex tapes, so...
Clondar doesn't have any means of playing such tapes. You don't watch TV.
Yeah, Clondar would just eat
It's
the
the
tape.
last show with you. I had to put in a Clondar reference somewhere. Anyway, Kieran's put Gremlin, aka Simon Cowell.
Does look similar, yeah. High-waisted trousers. This was a really difficult question. His name is Sleaze. He is
That
big.
does make a lot of sense,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
He is from the planet Apocalypse. He's one of Darkseid's minions, more specifically Big Barda's minions. Yeah, and he came back and mind-controlled Superman into making a sex tape, which didn't actually happen. They got close, but it got foiled.
You can just imagine, Superman's there, they break the mind control, and he's just like, are you sure the mind control's gone? Diana, you sure?
You sure?
You sure? I've already taken off my outside pair of underpants.
All right. Question number 7. Which country has the Joker been a UN ambassador for?
Callum's put,
Saudi.
what?
Saudi Arabia.
I think he meant to say Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia.
And Kieran's gone with Iraq.
You're very close, Kieran, but you're not correct.
It's Iran.
It's Iran.
I crossed that out and put Iraq.
You did as well.
Damn.
I thought it was Iran.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the great nation, the Republic of Iran is what he actually says in the comic. But wow,
They have a love of fish.
And apparently they're insane.
See, I changed it
Wow.
to Iraq when he was talking about the current leader being insane. I was thinking Saddam. Oh well.
Yeah,
Too clever for my own
Iran.
good.
The Joker was a UN ambassador for Iran. Mental. Question number 8. According to the book Becoming Batman, a superhero's guide of the possibility of a superhero, how much would it cost to actually become Batman?
Callum's gone with 24.6 million. Billion, sorry.
And Kieran's gone with 8 billion.
Nowhere close. It's 300 million.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot more
You
possible
did say
than...
whoever was the closest gets the point.
Yeah, but it's like 8 billion. There's 7 billion. 7,000.
It was your idea for it to be the closest one to get
You're
the point.
already so far ahead. Alright, fine, I'll give me the point.
Yeah, apparently only 300 million, but it would kill you in a couple of years. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there you
Put
are.
into health insurance.
Surely, like, some things like, the Batmobile.
Yeah, that's what I was
Batwings and
thinking. The
stuff must cost
Batcave,
a
the
lot.
Batmobile, the equipment, hiring Alfred.
Well, there's no actual reference that Alfred gets paid, is there?
There is the reference that it might actually be Bruce's real father.
Yeah.
That's something that's coming about at the moment.
It's I think it's like that's the low end of the budget to do it.
That's like to be Batman, but to ride the bus to get right.
Yeah, if you said it was the lowest budget, I would have gone a lower number. But when you
No. Like in the book, it goes into some pretty good detail about this, so it's worth checking it out. Read the book if you can; it's good. Question number 9: what real-world invention did the creator of Wonder Woman also invent?
The guy in the middle has gone with tampons.
Wow.
I thought it was. I remember it saying. I was reading the story, and I remember it was some sort of like, maybe not tampon, but it was some sort of like
Feminine hygiene
feminine
product.
hygiene equipment.
Okay.
He invented the douche.
Could be.
Kieran's going with the Kevlar.
The correct answer is what Superwoman very well known for? What is her not power?
An
but
invisible
her-
jet.
No.
A whip.
A whip, which?
It's not a whip, it's a lasso.
Well, a lasso, which?
He invented the lie detector,
He
didn't
did
he?
indeed, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
He did invent the
This
lie
quiz
detector.
is annoying me. I know all these answers, but they're just in a part of my brain that wasn't allowing access.
There is a. It may not be the Wonder Woman, but there's someone who works in comics that did do a hygiene thing. I think someone could either create that, or they created some sort of like soap. I don't know.
Probably wasn't Robert Cook.
It wasn't Carl Curtin. I'm just an idiot. I remember hearing about that as well. It's something like this. It's one of those quizzes. Like I remember hearing this information, but I don't remember it.
Very strange.
This quiz is frustrating me.
He was a very interesting man, despite some of his ideas. Right. Question number 10. Which celebrity has the Punisher protected in his comics?
Callum has gone with Justin Bieber.
And
All of your answers are just offending me, Callum.
Kieran's gone with Kevin Costner. He was his bodyguard.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
someone's bodyguard. I actually have an image to show you. So, you know I'm not... No, wait.
No.
Oh, no, that's...
Wait.
No.
There it is.
Oh, it's Eminem.
Well done. Well done for reading. It is Eminem.
Damn it.
So what are the scores?
That's the worst score.
Callum has scored nothing.
The worst. I can understand why I'm getting a punishment now. That's awful. And Kieran scored 3.
Well done, Kieran. You didn't quite get my expectations, but yeah, there you go.
All those questions annoyed me.
I'm so sad because like
Can we see the say what you see? See if we
You
figure
can
it out.
say this.
If
Right, okay.
if I
Whoever's
get
first.
this, can I not do
Nope.
today's challenge?
Oh, I don't think you will anyway. To be honest, to be fair, right, when I did this, I was like, this is difficult. This is too difficult. And then both Tom Harris and Emma McGann got it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
with very
let's see
minimal
it.
prompting. Okay, all I'll tell you is this is a TV series.
Okay.
Here it is. Yeah, right. Okay, so this, I mean, this is obviously not good radio because these guys are just a little bit stumped.
Is this a current TV series or one that's like been on for a while? And then...
I'm not even going to tell
No,
you
just a
any
TV
of it.
series.
It is one that you will know.
I won't.
Okay, you will be familiar with it. You should be very familiar with it. If not it, then it's you'll be familiar with this TV series.
Can you hear what's the picture of the bat representing?
Well, I'll tell you that 2 of the pictures there are of bands.
Okay.
I don't know why, but in my head, Kieran will get one of them and Callum will get the other one.
I don't know either.
Okay, so try not to work on the bands.
No.
Work on what you know. This seems like it's being difficult. Shall I?
Give us a clue.
Okay, let's talk through it. The first picture. Has anybody got any ideas?
Man, strong, muscle.
Okay, none of them are correct.
Okay.
Buff.
Maybe.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
There you go.
Hey.
It's a buff man. It's some ecstasy, which is colloquially known as E. That's the Vamps. That's Ireland, which is shortened to Ire.
I knew the Slayers.
That is the actual.
And that's Slayer,
that's
the
actually how you
band,
say
not
it.
the Slayers. Slayer, the band. So it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Which
Nice.
Emma and Tom got a lot quicker than you two. There you go.
They're much more in the music scene.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the middle band were.
If you literally put like
We'll swap round.
Jack the Ripper for Slayer, or like that sort of like a killer, maybe instead of the band, I might have got that a bit easier.
I say I got Slayer pretty quick, but it was the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my head, I kind of thought Callum might get the Vamps.
No, I got the Slayer.
And Kieran might get Slayer. But yeah, I thought it was going to be difficult, but then Emma and Tom Harris got it.
But that doesn't mean that it's not difficult for us to.
No, I know.
Because we're complete idiots.
With
Right.
minimal prompting.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to absolutely slam it through the rest of the show.
Sorry.
So we are going to move on to the science section in a moment. First of all, a reminder of how you guys can get in touch with us here at the studio. If you want to add anything to what we've said or come up with something that you'd like us to mention on the show, you can get in touch on YouNow. If you're watching us on there, younow.com/Nerdemic Show. Or you can get in touch via Twitter @Nerdemic Show. Pretty easy, just Nerdemic Show. So now let's move on
Could
to...
I just really quickly...
Yeah.
I really hate to use this as an opportunity to have a conversation with my girlfriend, but it's a lot easier than texting her. Okay. Would you really buy Wonder Woman tampons? Actually, yes, of course you would. Don't be ridiculous. Also, you can only catch wild Pokemon, not other trainers' Pokemon. And no, you can catch them when they're at full level, but it's best to give them low HP. Sorry, Kieran.
Status conditions help as well.
Status conditions do.
I'd advise paralysis.
I don't think she has access to that currently.
Oh.
She's only in
what's she
Malibu.
got?
Well, she's got an Ivysaur, so she might have sleep powder.
Maybe.
If you've got poison powder or sleep powder, go for sleep powder.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Science and technology.
That's an amazing conversation.
Okay, so for today's science section, I'm going to be doing my real facts, fake facts.
Nice.
But I didn't expect the rest of the show to go on for so long. So as it's Rick's last day, I've prepared 5 facts as opposed to my normal 3.
Cool. Thanks for
Yeah. So with this one, I've got 3 real facts and 2 fake ones.
Is one of them ridiculous?
Yeah, sure.
You'll get that reference.
Sure. I get it. Okay, so, as always, I'll go through the facts first, and then you guys can confer, you can ask questions. So, let's go for it. Question number 1, or fact number 1. Yeah, nice sodium periodic table there.
Sodium.
J is the only letter not in the periodic table. That is fact number 1. J is the only letter not in the periodic table.
I'm upset because I knew that Batmantium wasn't an actual.
Okay. Fact number 2. There are 90 elements, that's 90 elements, on the periodic table that occur in nature. All of the other elements are strictly man-made. So what I'm saying is that there are 90 that are not made by us. Next fact. The majority of elements currently on the periodic table fall into the category of gases. That's all the gases, like, you know, all your noble gases and all that kind of stuff combined into one. So I'm saying the majority of elements fall into the category of gases. Next fact. Technetium was the first element to be made artificially. That's a picture of it there.
Mm-hmm.
It's shiny.
Technetium.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And finally, there are more
Kieran,
elements.
you promised that you wouldn't send that picture I showed you to everyone.
He took.
Okay. There are more elements in unpolluted air than in the human body.
How did that? Like, that's a very tenuous link, but I'm glad that you did it.
I googled like human body pictures, and one came up of Paul Rudd, a very sexy pose, and I thought I've got to plaster Rick's face on that.
That's Paul Rudd.
That's Paul Rudd.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
So, would you like me to repeat any? Do you want to confer for
I
a bit?
want to have a little
So can I ask? 2 are fake, 3 are real, or?
Yeah, 2 are fake, 3 are real.
Alright, what I know...
Can you repeat the third one real quick, just because I wasn't listening?
The third one, the one about the gases.
Yeah.
The majority of elements on the periodic table fall into the category of gases. Put your phone away.
I'm listening. The majority of the...
I'm more worried that you're Googling it.
No, I'm texting about Noel Fielding.
Alright, so what I know from chemistry... Let's go into a bit of GCSE revision right now.
By the way, as we are running short on time, I am going to have to put a timer on this one.
I'm
going to give you 5 minutes at the most.
That's fine. I'll get it in 3.
Ooh.
Right, so...
Are you capable of concise thought, or will you just ramble?
You're mean. Okay, so what I know from GCSE chemistry, J... I can't think of any that has a J.
I think there's a really obscure one.
There might be. I know that... I think that the one about the 90 in nature, the rest of man-made, I think that one's true.
Okay, it's an obscure enough one
Because-
that it could go either way, couldn't it?
Because on the periodic table, there is a lot of them. And I mean, like 300... Like 200, which are just made up by humans in the last few years.
Synthesised properly.
Yeah.
The
The one about gases, I'm a bit off about, because a large section of the periodic table is metals.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about 60% is metals. You would transition metals,
Yeah,
or
there are
metals, and then like a lot of the pre-made ones, like new made ones, are metals as well.
Yeah.
So I think that one's false. And what was the 5th one, sorry?
There are more elements in unpolluted air than in the human body.
There are a large amount of elements in air, but
Humans, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen.
Surely it depends on what you've been eating, Kieran.
You've just been eating elements.
I had a nice bit of technetium for dinner.
Yeah. Technetium sounds. I don't think that one's right.
It's definitely a man-made element, but I don't know whether it's the first one. It does ring a bell in my head, and it might be because of that reason. So I personally would go for true on that one.
So false, I'm gonna go with the metals, and the other false.
Would you like me to go over them again?
Yeah, quickly.
Okay, so first one, J is the only letter not in the periodic table. 2, there are 90 elements on the periodic table that occur in nature. All of the other elements are strictly man-made. 3, the majority of elements fall into the category of gases. 4, technetium was the first element to be made artificially. And finally, there are more elements in unpolluted air than in the human body.
I think you're right about 3. So
Choose one more. You choose.
I'm not quite sure. My gut feeling is 2 or 5. I think
same.
Which one?
Those two. I can't. I'm working out between them. 2 is. Which one was 2?
90 in nature. The
That
rest.
was true.
You think that one's true? So you want to go for 5? That's the false one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just go with that.
3 and 5 as a team. We are doing this as a team,
So
right?
3 was. Which one was 3?
3 was
The gases.
the gases. 5 is about air versus the human body.
I think you're completely right about the gases, because I think you're right with it being metals.
Yeah.
There are a lot of metals, and yeah,
It's going to be.
I'm torn between 2 and 5, but 3 and 5.
I think 2's right, but I'm torn between 1 and 5.
So what is your final answer?
3 and
one
5.
3 and 5. We'll go with that.
3 and 5.
3 and 5.
You are both correct. In actual fact, the majority of elements do fall into the category of metals, as you said, and there are more elements within the human body than in unpolluted air.
Yeah.
Almost 99% of the mass of the human body is made up of 6 elements: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. And just under 1% is composed of another 5 elements: potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, and magnesium, which makes a total of 11.
Did you say iron?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I didn't hear iron, and iron is definitely in the body.
Yeah, iron should definitely be in there. Whereas air is primarily made up of 2 different elements, nitrogen and oxygen. They make up about 99% of it again. The rest includes small amounts of argon and carbon dioxide. Other gases such as neon, helium, and methane are present in trace amounts.
Yeah.
So, well done. You guys on Rick's last show have bossed the science section.
Boom.
I thought I did well with that one.
Choice. I just can't do the rest of the normal quizzes.
Thought I did well with that one. Okay, so in a moment we are going to go into the final section of the show, which is comics. But first, we're going to go into a quick song. Nice one to lead into comics. From the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, Awesome Mix Volume 1. I recommend getting it. This is Redbone with Come and Get Your Love. See you in a few minutes.
You're listening to ORB Radio 1, giving people a voice.
That was in there for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, Pokemania show doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Not live at ORB.
Yeah.
Although we did have Nate.
We did have,
Last
yeah,
night.
to be fair, so one part
aspect of that was correct.
slightly accurate.
Okay, so quick reminder of how you guys can get in touch with us. You can watch us on younow.com / Shh. I'm trying to tell people how to get in touch and you're talking over me. It's making me all muddled and confused. Right. younow.com / Nerdemic show. Or you can tweet.
Forward slash.
You know what? You guys do it then. You do comics.
I don't care
Sure, give
anymore.
me a script.
I've only got 31 minutes
Right,
left of
okay.
this.
Or you can tweet us at Nerdemic Show.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Just remember, I don't need you after tonight.
We'll be fine without you.
Oh,
Come on!
Oh, I touched my special place.
Your shoulder
Okay.
is your special place.
Yes, it is. All right.
That's where Kieran gets all of his good thinking done.
Yeah. Oh, we should do a show. Okay. Anyway, we're going into comics. We're getting a bit silly here.
Getting's a word. Not one I'd use to describe how silly we are, but
So, as per Rick's request, well, I am carrying on with my Avengers.
you gave me a choice really between 3 characters.
More than 3.
No, you didn't.
There's a couple.
Maybe 4. Maybe 4 if you're counting Quicksilver.
Or maybe.
Well, speaking of 4, I'm doing Thor, but with a TH.
Instead of an F.
Yeah. So, yes, the character I'm going to be doing today is the mighty God of Thunder, Thor. Look at him there, with all his muscles and his, for some reason, scaly armour. So, as usual, publication information about Thor. Published by Marvel Comics, his first appearance was Journey into Mystery number 83, back in August 1962, making him pretty early on within the Stan Lee verse. Created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and of course Jack Kirby. In-story information. His full name is Thor Odinson. Although we will be coming on some stuff to do with Donald Blake,
Yep.
which is an alias of his. His species is Asgardian. His place of birth, Asgard. His team affiliations, Asgard. Avengers, Warriors 3, Thor Corps, God Squad, and Avengers Unity Squad.
By the way, 4 Corps sounds like something ups, doesn't it?
It does a bit,
It
yeah.
does a little bit.
Yeah.
We are the 4 Corps!
Great.
So,
Great stuff.
I think I just wrote a parody in my head now.
notable aliases: Siegmund, Siegfried, Dr. Donald Blake, Jake Olsen, Sigurd Jarlsson, and Eric Masterson. Abilities: superhuman strength, durability, endurance, longevity, and speed. Abilities via Mjolnir: dimensional transportation, electric manipulation, flight, and weather manipulation. Now, I just threw out a weird word there, Mjolnir. For anyone who doesn't know, Mjolnir is the name of Thor's hammer. We are going to be getting on to some stuff to do with Mjolnir a bit later on. So, Thor's father, Odin, decides his son needs to be taught humility and consequently places Thor, without memories of godhood, into the body and memories of an existing partially disabled human medical student, Donald Blake. After becoming a doctor and on vacation in Norway, Blake witnesses the arrival of an alien scouting party. Blake flees from the aliens into a cave. After discovering Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, disguised as a walking stick, and striking it against a rock, he transforms into the Thunder God. Later, in Thor number 158, Blake is revealed to have always been Thor, Odin's enchantment having caused him to forget his history as the Thunder God and believe himself mortal. So, a little bit different there to the film. There's the whole thing with, Odin saying you're not worthy,
Yeah.
But not really any Donald Blake. There is a nice reference to him in that Jane Foster's ex-boyfriend is revealed to be a Dr. Donald Blake when Thor puts on a t-shirt and finds a name tag on there. I like little bits like that, little homages. But anyway, defeating the aliens, Thor shares a double life with his alter ego, treating the ill in a private practice with nurse and eventual love Jane Foster, and defending humanity from evil. Thor's presence on Earth almost immediately attracts the attention of his adoptive brother and arch-foe Loki.
Oh, hang on. Carry on, because this might be a fact that you come out with later.
Okay. Just write it down, save it for later, just in case it's not.
I've got it in my head, yeah.
Loki is responsible for the emergence of 3 of Thor's principal foes: the Absorbing Man, the Destroyer, and the Wrecker. On one occasion, Loki's tactics were accidentally beneficial, although successful in using an illusion of the Hulk to draw Thor into battle. Actually, I'm going to go back. There's a brilliant picture of Thor and the Hulk here. There we go. Using an illusion of Hulk to draw Thor into battle, it results in the formation of the superhero team, the Avengers, of which Thor is a founding and long-standing member. So it's quite fitting that Loki was the villain in the first Avengers movie as well, although he didn't create an illusion of the Hulk. Just himself.
A lot.
Yeah. Odin finally relents, and because you see in the second film how Odin isn't really big on the whole Jane Foster being mortal and Thor loving her kind of thing. So he finally relented and allowed Thor to love Jane Foster on the proviso that she pass a trial. Foster panics and Thor intervenes. After Foster fails the test, Odin returns her to Earth, where she is given another chance at love, while a heartbroken Thor is introduced to the Asgardian warrior Sif. So, which is the opposite to the film. In the films, Sif is a long-standing friend and kind of thing for him. It is a bit harsh. They do this with Marvel quite a lot. He's heartbroken. It's like, hey, look at this other eligible lady. You basically had a heartbroken Peter Parker being introduced to Mary Jane, and her being interested in him as soon as Gwen was gone. So, but anyway, we're not on Spider-Man at the moment. Significant moments within the Thor comics. There's Ragnarok, in which Thor discovers that the Asgardians are actually kind of like the playthings of these people who are the gods that sit above other gods, as they kind of refer to themselves, and that every few thousand years they are born, they go through their lives, and then Ragnarok happens and they eventually get reborn. And Thor decides, this is all during Civil War, Thor decides to go to the Fates and cut the tapestry of fate, thereby ending it, but in the meantime also kind of messing up Asgard, and he goes missing and is presumed dead for quite a long period of time. There is a moment in one of the more recent comics where Nick Fury whispers something to Thor. Now, there's a lot of speculation as to whether it was some kind of spell or it was a secret that Thor shouldn't have known or something like that. But whatever it was that Nick Fury whispered to him suddenly made him unworthy to wield Mjolnir. Okay? Now, one thing I have to stress on this, I will get to this later. There is a difference between being able to lift and being able to wield Mjolnir. But I will get to that later on. After losing the hammer, which is in the aftermath of Original Sin, Thor takes up the battle axe Jarnbjorn as a substitute for Mjolnir, and subsequently loses his arm in combat against Malekith, the villain from Thor: The Dark World. Meanwhile, an unidentified woman lifts Mjolnir, taking possession of Thor's power. Although Thor initially attempts to reclaim the hammer, after witnessing the woman wield its power against a frost giant invasion, he officially gives her the name and role of Thor, deciding to simply refer to himself as Odinson, using an artificial arm and Jarnbjorn as he continues to be a hero. Here we actually see Nick Fury whispering that little secret that somehow made him unworthy, and a shot there of the new Thor, who is Lady Thor.
She's unnamed. She doesn't have a backstory or anything.
No one knows who she is. It's assumed she's Asgardian. There's a lot of speculation that it might be Frigga, his mother within the comics, and there are implications that they do have a history. I'm kind of, because of all the stuff that they've gone through, I'm kind of actually rooting for it to be Jane Foster.
That'd be cool.
Unfortunately, Odin died a while back and is no longer around for her to be like, in your face, in your face. Where Odin died and actually had his life force put into Mjolnir. So Mjolnir now has the power of Odin. But yeah, so as always, well, as of now, I have my 10 facts about Thor. Fact number 1. The character of Thor made his first appearance in August of 1962 issue of Journey into Mystery. He premiered in issue number 83 of that series, and it wasn't the only big thing to happen in the Marvel Comics world that month. Also hitting the shelves was Amazing Fantasy number 15. Anyone know the significance of Amazing Fantasy number 15?
It was another introduction to another character.
It was.
So it would have been quite late.
1962 is actually fairly early, Stanley-wise.
No.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
It's not like the Hulk, is it?
It's the comic that introduced Spider-Man to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Lee came up with the character of a god after worrying that he'd never be able to top the power of the Hulk. Look carefully in 2011's Thor movie and you'll see a billboard bearing the comic's name, Journey into Mystery.
Oh yeah, it's an advert for like Mexico, isn't it?
I think it...
It was like, it's to another place.
Yeah. Love this picture. Chris Hemsworth, perfect guy to play Thor, right? Big, muscly, blonde, yeah. It could have been so different. Actors originally pursued for the role, as in they didn't audition, people wanted them to play the roles, included Brad Pitt, Kevin McKidd, Channing Tatum, and even wrestler Triple H.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig was allegedly offered the role in 2008, but turned it down due to Bond commitments, saying, "What am I, on some stupid effing power trip? I can't imagine blonde hair and a big hammer." As this picture shows, Tom Hiddleston also auditioned for the role of Thor before he was awarded the role of his mischievous brother. One of his influences for the role of Loki was Cassius from William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. So he went on an intense diet to give himself a lean and hungry appearance for playing Loki. Perhaps it was his inherent impishness, but Jim Carrey was long rumoured for the role of Loki before Tom Hiddleston was cast. But probably not so much, seeing as though the mask in The Mask was Loki.
Yeah.
So he's already kind of played Loki. Brilliantly, I might add.
Yep.
Thor, The Dark World was filmed in England under the working title Thursday Morning. Any idea why it would be called that?
Did the thing happen on a Thursday morning?
Was morning not actually morning, but morning?
Well, it was, but more importantly, the day, Thursday, is from the original word, Thor's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Fact number 4. Kenneth Branagh's movie wasn't the first time we saw the God of Thunder at the movies. Thor had a major supporting role in 1988's TV movie The Incredible Hulk Returns, opposite Lou Ferrigno's Jade Giant. Do you think we're ever going to get through an episode without a picture of Lou Ferrigno?
No, I hope we never do.
I agree.
You have to find a way of putting him in everything.
Played by Eric Allen Kramer, latterly of American Wedding fame, this iteration of Thor got to yell lines like, "I don't like your face," and "This will send you back to hell, you ugly troll." Love to see Hemsworth cracking some of that out. So, on to Mjolnir, one of the main sources of Thor's power. The magic hammer Mjolnir isn't the only weapon Thor relies upon in the Marvel Comics universe. He has an enchanted belt of strength, which is also important. It's frequently overlooked, and is an important element of his arsenal, as it enhances his strength to almost double its otherwise impressive level. In Norse mythology, these two items are accompanied by magical iron gloves that allow him to wield Mjolnir. Okay, so if you are willing to overlook some pretty cosmic logic leaps, then the line about Thor's hammer Mjolnir being forged inside a dying star is not entirely fanciful. When a large star dies in a supernova, its remains can collapse to form a neutron star, which can potentially condense mass the size of the sun into matter the size of a city. This is known as neutronium. Scientists reckon even a fistful, that's technical phrase.
Yep.
Scientists reckon even a fistful of this material would weigh billions of tons, which would explain why it really, really hurts when Thor wallops you. Though this brings me on to what I was saying earlier, the difference between being able to lift and being able to wield Mjolnir. Many characters have managed to lift Mjolnir in the past, many super strong ones, like the Hulk, for example.
Yeah.
However, to actually be able to wield Mjolnir, you must be worthy of it. So, while the Hulk could be able to smash plenty with the hammer, if he were to try any of its tricks, like the lightning, the flying, the throwing it and it returning, it wouldn't work for him because he's not worthy of it. Which brings us on to the main magical enchantment of the hammer, being that only those deemed worthy to wield its power are able to lift it and use it. Several other characters over time have displayed this worthiness by wielding Mjolnir, including, but not limited to, within the Earth 616 reality, the main one, Odin, Donald Blake, Beta Ray Bill, Red Norval, Thunderstrike, Captain America, Wonder Man, Jake Olsen, Boar, who is his grandfather,
Oh, yeah.
Throg, I know you like a bit of Throg,
I do love Frog.
Awesome Andy, Airwalker, and Loki, after having his moral compass magically inverted, and the female Thor.
Is Klondar in that list as well?
Klondar doesn't need to wield Mjolnir.
Klondar is not deemed anything.
I've read a few of these issues.
Klondar doesn't deem Mjolnir worthy.
The one with Thor is a really interesting one, actually. Loki manages to resurrect his grandfather and sends him to modern-day Earth, into the middle of New York, and convinces him that all the people there are demons. And when Thor comes to calm him down, he believes Thor is the king of the demons. So they end up getting into a fight in which Thor throws Mjolnir at Boar, and Boar catches it and throws it away like it's a piece of paper. So, yeah. Boar actually being, within both the mythology and the comics, stronger than Odin. So,
yeah,
bit of a boss. In alternative realities, Alexander Power, Conan the Barbarian, that's a really interesting one if you get a chance to read that. Throthamon, Sarah Rogers, Dargo Couture, from two different universes, Bruce Banner in a separate universe, Gregory Stark, Magneto, Modi Thorson, Valkyrie, Maggie Thorson again from another reality, Wooden Thorson, Rogue, Cecil McAdam.
Cecil McAdam.
Yeah.
Big fan of that name.
Ragnarok, the actual character Ragnarok from the Earth 616, who was in another alternate reality at the time. Jane Foster of Earth 788, which is one of the reasons I think she might be Lady Thor. The Black Widow, and of course Superman, through Odin's permission, and Wonder Woman. So quite a few people have been deemed worthy enough.
Superman did it, yeah. Weird.
Yeah, but only with Odin's permission. Fact number 8. The mighty Thor we're familiar with now was not the first version of Thor to appear in the pages of Marvel Comics. A short-lived series about the character Venus, based on the Roman goddess, introduced a character based on Thor. I've unfortunately not been able to find any images of Thor from this. They seem to be lost within the realms of time, but I'm led to understand it was a pretty different character.
Yeah.
A bit more Conan and a less Thor. Fact number 9. In both Marvel's comics and Norse mythology, Thor's affection for Earth stems from his mother's influence. Thor is the child of Odin and the feminine personification of Earth known as Gaia. Whereas we've been led to believe that his mother is Frigga. Yeah. Turns out Thor was a naughty, naughty boy.
Thor was a naughty boy or Odin?
Odin was a naughty boy, sorry.
The naughtiest of boys.
Yeah, although her name, Gaia, comes, I believe, from the Greek, whereas it was Jord, I believe, in Norse mythology. Her other Norse names including Fjorgyn and I think it's Helodian. Could be wrong on that. Thor was originally not made aware of his true mother's identity and was told that he was the child of Odin and Frigga. But yeah. Now, this character is not one that pops up very regularly within the Marvel Universe, although she does have a bit of an influence. She is one of the few characters within the Marvel Universe that is actually more powerful than Galactus. Being a spiritual entity, she is able to have a devastating effect on the physical realm, of which Galactus resides in, whereas Galactus can't actually do anything to her.
Yeah.
So my final Thor-based fact, save this one for last because I knew you'd love it. Thor once spent several issues of The Mighty Thor as a frog after falling prey to one of Loki's magical schemes. The story, which was penned by celebrated Thor writer Walter Simonson in 1986 and lasted for 4 issues, saw Thor end up in Central Park and lead a clan of frogs into battle against a horde of rats. He eventually returned to Asgard to reclaim his identity, but not before leaving a shard of Mjolnir behind for one of his amphibian allies, a frog named Puddlegulp. That frog eventually became a warrior known as Throg, and wields a pint-sized version of Mjolnir as part of Marvel's recent Pet Avengers team. That's right, there's a Pet Avengers team.
Right, so I had an interesting fact that... Oh, yeah. Aren't I handsome?
I was on it with the Photoshop today. I forgot to add one more person who's managed to wield Mjolnir. Of course, it is the mighty Klondar.
Yeah. Klondar deems Mjolnir of not being able to be welled by him.
Yeah.
But yeah, one fact that I thought was interesting is that obviously you presume that Loki came about as a answer to Thor, but Loki was actually introduced 13 issues of the what was it called, the Journey into Mysteries comic book series way before Thor was, so Loki came before Thor. Interesting.
Yeah, Loki's been through a bit of a weird thing with the comics over the last while. Everyone's all over the place with this Lady Thor thing. Loki became a woman quite a while.
It's not that shocking,
I believe
though, is
he's
it?
currently a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with the Young Avengers now. He's actually an Avenger.
It's not that shocking, is it, though, if he can, like at least kind of conjure up images of other stuff. He could at least make people think that he is a woman.
I would definitely recommend, if you haven't seen it, going online. It's been released, I think, within the last month or so. Tom Hiddleston's screen test for Thor.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen that.
I feel kind of bad because he's such a good actor and I really like him, but it's kind of hilarious. It's like, have you ever seen Marlon Brando's screen test for Rebel Without a Cause? It's awful. So bad. Marlon Brando, I mean, he's such a phenomenal actor, but it's so bad. I'm not surprised he didn't get the part.
Yeah.
Screen tests, they're weird.
But what didn't they just go, well, you can play Loki instead, so it must have been not bad.
Yeah, I think, well, he would have done an original audition, and then he would have been in the running and gone for a screen test. But Chris Hemsworth's journey to becoming Thor is quite an interesting one. His brother Liam was actually wanted to audition for the part. They were both living in Australia at the time, and Liam was only willing to go if Chris would go along with him, like as kind of support and backup. So he decided, I'll come and I'll audition as well. Those two ended up being the final two in the running for Thor. And another little interesting thing, I'm going to tell you this, you're going to hate me for it because you can never unsee it. Kenneth Branagh insisted that Chris Hemsworth dye his eyebrows blonde to go with the blonde hair.
I did know that, yeah.
Joss Whedon did not insist on this, so his eyebrows changed colour from film to film. You can never unsee it.
Dyeing your eyebrows is... How do you... Once you've dyed them, don't they just stay that colour? They don't really grow, do they?
They kind of grow and then they fall out. So you'll have like kind of it'll go a bit ginger, and then it'll finally go back to brown.
That must have been awkward.
Yeah, or he could have just dyed them back. I don't know.
I love that Kenneth Branagh was the director of Thor. It's just such a very bizarre kind of situation. You just think of him as Gilderoy Lockhart, don't you? You just think of Gilderoy Lockhart directing Thor, just mincing about the place.
I tend to think of him more for his Shakespeare work.
Well, yeah.
Benedict is Henry V, you know. But okay. Whatever.
No, Gilderoy Lockhart. That's what he is.
I found it really interesting that that film he did a while ago where he was playing the villain. It's one of those kind of spy-like films.
Yeah.
And the trailer amused me because it said from the director of Thor, and I thought there are two reasons for this. Either they're worried that the types of people who will be interested in this film won't know who Kenneth Branagh is, which is ridiculous, or Kenneth Branagh's in the film playing the antagonist and he doesn't want people to think it's a vanity project. But yeah. I wonder why he didn't do Thor 2. Do you think it was his choice, or?
I have no idea. Who did Thor 2?
I'll have a look. Talk amongst yourselves.
I think he did a good job of 4-1. What, didn't he end up being an executive producer in the Avengers anyway?
I think so.
To be honest, executive producer, that's like...
Alan Taylor directed it.
Oh, well done. Yeah, executive producer can... It's a bit of an unfair title, because I actually know a few executive producers who work tooth and nail. And then you get executive producers who are like members of the cast who decide I want it in my contract that I'm an executive producer.
I heard that it was just an excuse to get around paying them more.
Yeah, it becomes one of those things where they get paid by, like, say, advertisers and stuff like that, rather than the
they can't.
paying.
Like, I thought that there were quite literal like limits that they could get paid for a TV actor because of tax and stuff like that. So that they got around it by giving them executive producer status, so that they could pay them more.
Might be that. It's a shame they can't give them a different title though, because it's a bit unfair on the actual executive producers.
Yeah.
Although you sometimes get actors like Gary Sinise, who when Jerry Bruckheimer wanted to drop CSI New York, took over as producer. It's like the only one that isn't produced by Bruckheimer, and the show got so much better. So much better.
Really?
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes left of Rick's final show.
I have that gift for you.
Oh,
Put it away somewhere.
I don't know what I
Wait,
did with
before
it.
you stop, I have a gift for you.
Oh, there's gifts all
I
over
have
the
a
place.
geek mug, so you don't ever forget your past when you go into future employment.
You'll always remember that you were on Geekdemic.
You should have just like really badly Tipp-X'd it, nerd. That would have been great. That's lovely. I've got a mug. A mug for a mug.
You can use it in Shield in your office.
And
Shield
do you
have
remember?
registered regulation mugs.
Do you remember what you did with the gift I gave you?
Yeah, it's in here.
He's just rooting through a box at the moment. So Rick, obviously being a big Pokemon fan, downloaded his copy of Omega Ruby, so didn't get the toy that came with it when you pre-ordered. So I went to my lovely friends at Street Pass and I managed to get one that they found in a storeroom, buried away somewhere.
I'm feeling it. I hope it's grabbed on.
Just open it.
Just open it.
Yeah, but I was going to say go to the middle camera.
That camera is not working.
Go to the back camera.
The camera is currently not working.
Just go to that.
Yeah, I will. I'll go up there. You go, guys. You chat.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
He's got the geek mug. We've got a sheep from Elliot. He's actually sent a sheep. That's all.
Smells lovely.
That's quick.
No.
Go stay. Leave it on the screen.
Alright, this is a really weird way to end your last episode.
Yeah. Well, it's not the last episode.
It's his last episode. So, yeah, that is a good point. As of next week, guys, we will be moving to a new day and a new time slot. We're going to be taking the old Pokemania time slot on Wednesdays at 8 till 11. So, if you tune in then, that would be great. Also, we're going to be doing some regular broadcasts throughout the week from our alternative studio. which will be kind of like, there'll be some recaps of what's going on here and a lot more up-to-date news, as well as just some silliness. This weekend we're planning on playing a massive game of Cards Against Humanity, so that'll be fun.
Can I come?
Rude. No. No, we'll probably be getting
It's
drunk.
called Cards Against Humanity, not Clowns Against Humanity.
I've got a calling this up. It's brilliant.
The problem is we've got a friend who likes to sit in the middle, and it'd just be awkward if you were there as well.
Yeah. Speaking about alternative content on our YouTube channel, we're going to be getting this week. I've got a few videos coming up next week.
Yes,
that was
I'm showing enthusiasm.
Yeah, enthusiasm. Yeah, so those should be coming out by Saturday.
Right, thank you very much for having me. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a
Thank you
genuine
so much for
pleasure.
being here, man.
Keep nerding one off. Keep geeking one off. And, you'll see me again soon. Hopefully I'll be doing a video.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Yeah, that's it.
It's gone.
I love clowns!
Clowns!